Hey everyone, I'm Trevor, and today we are at Disneyland to take you on the ultimate tour for first-timers. We are going to show you absolutely everything in this entire park so you can get a better sense of what Disneyland is like. So let's get going. And we're going to start this video here in the Esplanade because this video is not your typical Disneyland walkthrough like I've done dozens of times here on the channel. No, this one is specifically designed to help first-timers who have never been to Disneyland to get an understanding of what types of things there are that are available here. So we're going to be pointing out just about everything that you can see and do. And people who are familiar with Disneyland may find it a bit tedious, but you also might find some things that you didn't know about before, so I hope you'll stick around anyway. Why am I doing something like this? Well, we just booked our first Disney cruise last week for next May. And we just booked that. It is our first ever cruise. It is our first ever Disney cruise. And we just started watching a bunch of YouTube videos about cruising and about our ship in particular. And some of the most helpful videos have been ones that show you everything that there is to see and do. Even so, I'm still having a somewhat hard time getting a handle on what's all involved. Now, couple that with a comment that I received the other day whenever we were doing our construction update, where someone was confused what Oga's Cantina was. And they said, what is Oga's Cantina? Can you explain that? And I said, well, that's, just a restaurant. I didn't have, a whole lot of time to dive into that and explain it. But this person had never heard about that before. So these two events colliding bring you this video. I'm going to walk around Disneyland, and we are going to point out every little thing. I mean everything, and show you what it is and what you can do and what you can buy and what you can eat and all of that. We're going to point, this might be a really long video. It might be an hour and a half. It might be 2 hours. I don't know. You'll see the timestamp before we get going. But without further ado, let's dive in. And this area here is considered the Esplanade, and they have this 70th anniversary sculpture up in the very center. We have Disney California Adventure over off to our left, the entrance to Disney California Adventure, and then we have the entrance to Disneyland over off to our right. If you were to come in to Disneyland from this way, this is the Harbor Boulevard entrance. If you're staying at a Good Neighbor Hotel out on Harbor Boulevard and you're going to be walking in, that's going to be from that direction. And then if you come from the other direction, that's downtown Disney over that direction. They have a whole bunch of shops and things. We're not going to go through that today. I do have tours of all three parks and downtown, well, both parks and downtown Disney, all three locations. On the channel, you can check out the downtown Disney tour if you would like. It may not be as in-depth as this one will be, but again, downtown Disney, you have access to the 3 Disney hotels that way, the Grand Californian, the Pixar Place, and the Disneyland Hotel. And we're just going to come over here into Disneyland and go through the entrance gates. You do have to have a ticket in advance, okay? You need to make sure that you have a reservation. So please don't rely on purchasing a ticket when you get here. They do have ticket booths, but I would buy your tickets in advance and then you come up here to the entrance to get into the park. And as soon as we are on the other side of the entrance gates, this is the site you're going to be greeted with. Straight ahead is the Disneyland Railroad Main Street Station. You cannot access it from this side of the road. A lot of people love to take photos in front of this particular topiary type floral decoration over here. And you'll see cast members all throughout the park wearing these blue and green and teal type shirts. And these are PhotoPass cast members. They will take photos for you on their Disney cameras and give you official photos if you purchase a PhotoPass through the Disneyland app. But you can also just give them your phone and they'll take a photo for you on your phone. It won't quite look as nice because it's not on a professional camera, but you can absolutely do that for free. And that's going to be, again, one of the most popular spots for that is right here in front of the Main Street Station for the Disneyland Railroad, right here inside the entrance gates. Now, we are going to walk to the left here, and we will end back here in this spot, and we'll get the other side on the way back. Just letting you know that we're going to start off this direction. I may have to turn the camera off from time to time due to congestion, but I'm going to try to keep it on as much as possible. We do have this news stand and information over off to our left. This is primarily for merchandise. You can take a look at the merchandise outside. They've got bubble wands and light up necklaces and Mickey ears. And then we've got some hats in the background. Looks like autograph books and pens you can purchase in here, water bottles and misters, spirit jerseys they've got hanging up on the wall. But we will just keep moving on. We can't stop and look at too much. We'll point things out. We've got the map area here. They've got guide maps in English, Japanese, Spanish, Chinese, German, Korean, Portuguese, French, and Italian right here. These are free to take. You might see this sign here during the Halloween season. They have Pluto's Pumpkin Pursuit, which is a fun scavenger hunt that you can do throughout the resort. You are finding different pumpkins throughout the park here, and you're going to put stickers for which pumpkin and which location, and then they will give you a prize at the end. You have to purchase one of these cards, and so you're purchasing the prize. You can get the prize even if you do not complete the scavenger hunt. And then on the opposite side here, you'll see this little key, this kiosk, a little keyhole there. This is for the Key to Disneyland 70th anniversary. A specific merchandise item that you can buy. You have to find all 9 locations throughout the park and then come back here, and it will open up the key that you purchased with a special commemorative pin on the inside. Those keys are, I think, $60. You'll also find letterboxes like this throughout the park, and you can mail actual mail from inside Disneyland. Now, once upon a time, they would stamp it as coming from Disneyland. I don't believe they do that anymore, so it's no different than you taking it straight to the post office. But they still do have these letterboxes that you can engage in if you want to buy like a postcard and mail it to somebody back home. We do have another gift shop right off to the left here once we come through the tunnel, which is going underneath the Disneyland Railroad. More of the same sort of things that we pointed out before. Again, you're going to have to look at all of these yourselves. This video will not have the ability to show you every single merchandise item. This just not physically possible. This is the guided tours booth. If you purchase a guided tour through Disneyland, and they're like $100 to $150 a person, depending on the tour, this is the area where you will come to like check in for your tour. And they have a 70th Disneyland, a Story of Celebration 70th Anniversary guided tour. And then they also have the Disney's Happiest Haunts, the Villains Trail. And occasionally they do have a railroad trail too. I don't know if the railroad trail is, or tour is going on right now, the railroad tour. But this area is where you're going to check in for those guided tours. You can make those purchases on the Disneyland website, or you can inquire, as it says inquire here. There might always be availability, and you could just go talk to the guided tours and purchase them in the park if you want to do something rather last minute. This area is known as Town Square, and so we've stepped into Disneyland proper now, and there is just a lot here, a lot to point out, and we're going to start on the left-hand side, and we're going to work our way around, and then we'll get what's on the right-hand side and back this direction a little bit later. First off, though, I do want to point out that Disneyland Railroad Main Street Station, this is how you get into it. If you want to go ride the Disneyland Railroad, it's from this side, and you can go up those stairs. They do not have handicap accessibility here at the Main Street Station. So there are 3 other stations around the park that do have handicap accessibility. This is the only one that does not, to my knowledge. And so just keep that in mind here at the Main Street Station. You will find different popcorn carts like this all throughout the park. We'll do our very best to point them out so that you get an idea of how many popcorn carts there are. But you can purchase hot popcorn, and it is one of my wife's favorite snacks to get is Disney popcorn. There's pixie dust in it, something about Disney popcorn you can purchase all throughout the park. And then right on the other side here is the Disneyland Hall. This is guest services, Disneyland City Hall. Guest services. And so if you have any questions or concerns or complaints or things that you need to talk to somebody official about, come here to Disneyland City Hall in Town Square, and you will be able to talk about that. Now, if you have to register a complaint, I encourage you to do so as kind and nicely as possible. Please be courteous. Understand that this particular cast member had no influence or no involvement in whatever you are upset about, and so just be patient with them, and they will try to help you as best they can, provide some sort of compensation to you. But if you are rude to them, they will be less likely to want to help you. We have some restrooms over here off to the left, and then the Disneyland Fire Department. And this is actually right above that is Walt's apartment, where Walt used to live when he was, he was alive, of course, and he wanted to oversee the park. It wasn't his only house, but when he wanted to oversee operations in the park, he stayed in that apartment right up there, and he could get work done, and he could stay here overnight and be able to, not have to go back to wherever his actual house was. But you can go in here, and they've got an old-timey fire truck in here, so you can go and have fun and take a look at that. And they still have that open. Now let's keep going along here. This is the Disneyland Emporium, and this is going to be one of the largest gift shops that you are going to find in Disneyland Park. So let's just poke in here real quick so that you can see what the inside looks like. Again, we can't look at every single merchandise item, but this is a very large store. It keeps going over that way, and then it connects over that way into like 3 other buildings. It's just one long continuous building, and they have, this is where you're gonna find a lot of your mugs and your apparel, and also some food. They've got some food items that you can purchase that are specifically Halloween. So we do have a ton of different things that you can buy in here. Definitely come check out the Disneyland Emporium. It's one of my favorite stores to browse around here at the Disneyland Resort. And popping out of there, we enter Main Street, USA. This is one of the themed lands here at Disneyland, Main Street, and there are shops on both sides. And again, just gonna, sorry if I'm repeating myself, we will go over everything over there on the way back at the very, very end. So as I mentioned, all of these storefronts are actually all connected. It's all one big, large building here at the Emporium. So there are just multiple exits, but they do have different themes in each store as well, but they're all connected, so you don't even have to leave the inside of that building. You could just walk right through and go check out all those different shops without even stepping out into the sun again. This is Carnation Cafe, the first table service sit-down restaurant that we have come across. In fact, the first restaurant we've come across in total here on our tour. And this is one of my favorite places to eat, especially for breakfast. You can get the Mickey waffles here. They're oh so good. I have not eaten here for dinner in quite some time, but I remember the food being pretty decent here as well. But I'll put the Mickey waffles on your screen at least so you can see those. Highly recommend that you get those for breakfast whenever you are here at Disneyland. If you have time, of course. If you're only here for a single day, maximize your time. Don't worry too much about sit-down meals. You want to take care of quick service, and it'll make it easier for you. Over here is Gibson Girls Ice Cream Parlor. Does not appear to be open yet. Maybe does not open until noon. It is probably about 11:30 right now. But Gibson Girl Ice Cream Parlor, a good place to get some ice cream. And this is Candy Palace now. And here at Candy Palace, you can see all sorts of different confections like rice cereal treats, some cookies, caramel apples. We've got some cake pops and marshmallow ones, as well as peanut butter squares and toffee squares and more. This is a look at the inside of Gibson Girl Ice Cream Parlor. Again, I'm not really sure if they're operating yet. There's no line here, but we can see the inside from in here at Candy Palace. And Candy Palace has pre-packaged goods as well, and you can come over here and you can check out all sorts of the different pre-packaged goods that they have. And the store just keeps wrapping around. They do have a secondary and a third area where you can just purchase like cupcakes and confections. They do have cupcakes in this one as well. They did not have cupcakes in the other display. So let's just come over here and show you those real quick. Some more marshmallow ones as well. Look at that. Different types of cookies. So be sure to look at the different displays, but they do have cupcakes in here. Oh, and Cusco's Poison. Love that Rice Krispie cereal treat. And then there's another one over there that you can order from. This restaurant that we just came upon is the Refreshment Corner. And Refreshment Corner has things like a hearty chili, mac and cheese chili, hot dogs, chili cheese dogs, mac and cheese dogs. They also have Mickey pretzels here. You can get the standard Mickey pretzel. You can get a jalapeno and cream cheese pretzel. So they've got all sorts of different things that you can purchase here at Refreshment Corner. Coming outside to the seating area, they do have a ragtime piano, which occasionally they'll have a cast member here playing the piano, and it's great while you're eating to just listen to that. Alice and the Mad Hatter will come play musical chairs with the children at some point as well. The times aren't really listed on the app. Generally, I find it to be around noon, but don't exactly quote me on that. that. It could be completely random. This is the exterior of the refreshment corner, and this is the very end of Main Street. So we just walked all the way up there, and they do have seating areas out here that it's rather small for schmall. I was going to say short, but it's a small for refreshment corner. And so oftentimes you can go up here to the Jolly Holidays seating area and take a look if there are some open seats up there if you are having trouble finding seats at refreshment corner. And so this is the Jolly Holiday. A Jolly Holiday is, of course, themed after Mary Poppins. It's a Jolly Holiday with Mary. And this is the Jolly Holiday Bakery Cafe. This is one of my top places as far as recommendations to eat at Disneyland. The Jolly Holiday Combo is their primary item that everyone likes to get. It's grilled cheese and tomato basil soup. And the tomato basil soup is probably the best food item on Disney property. I know it sounds a little cheesy to have soup. Hello! I know it sounds a little simple to have soup be the best item at Disneyland, but it really is one of the best items. It's just amazing. And then they also have the cinnamon roll and so many other sweet treats, especially seasonally. Good seasonal sweet treats. I'm putting those on your screen so that you can see what types of things you could eat here. But this is the Jolly Holiday Bakery Cafe. Definitely come give it a look while you are here. And this here right behind the Jolly Holiday Bakery Cafe is known as the Hub. When we refer to the Hub, this is it. And why is it called the Hub? Well, because it is a leadoff point to many different lands around the park. So Main Street spills straight into the Hub here, as well as we've got Adventureland right over there. We've got Frontierland right there. Straight through the castle on the other side here is Fantasyland. If you were to head up there towards the Matterhorn, you can get to Fantasyland or Tomorrowland. And then if we were to walk over on the other side of the Hub here, there is Tomorrowland over that way. And again, we are going to cover all of this. It is a huge, massive undertaking, this video, but I want to point out as much as possible. Here is another popcorn cart right here in the center of the Hub. We mentioned we're going to point out the popcorn carts so you can just be aware of how many of them there are. You can buy special popcorn buckets here, and they have different ones for different themes and different times of the year. So this is the Halloween one. It's a Stitch Mummy bucket, and it is $39.75. You can also buy some bottled beverages here, as well as just a standard bucket of popcorn. And here are some of the prices just in case you are wondering. But again, popcorn all throughout the park. Walking back across this area, we have these few carts, and these are frozen treat carts, but they also have things like popcorn, different types of popcorn. This is Phantasmic popcorn, and then they've got pickle in a pouch. And then this is also popcorn, just a different type of popcorn as well. And then some corn nuts, it looks like. You can get the Mickey ice cream bars here, Mickey ice cream sandwiches, Toll House cookie ice cream sandwiches. So there's a lot of different food items that you can buy. And there are many of these frozen novelty carts all throughout the park too. If you are enjoying this video and finding it helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. And if you want to save some money on your next Disneyland vacation, call my friends at Getaway today and tell them that SoCal Disney Dad sent you. Or click the link down in the description and use my coupon code to save on top of their already discounted hotel and ticket packages. Now remember this area here in the Hub because we will come back to it. First off, we need to go to Adventureland. And again, Jolly Holiday Bakery Cafe off to our left, just spatial awareness as we're walking through here. The first land you're going to come across on the left-hand side is Adventureland. And the first item in Adventureland that you will see is Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. Now this is a show that is a classic, absolute classic. You have to go to the Tiki Room at least once. And right in front of the Tiki Room is the Tiki Juice Bar. And this is where you can buy a pineapple Dole Whip. And this is probably one of the most quintessential classic Disney snacks, the pineapple Dole Whip. Hello! Lots of people saying hello today. If you do see me in the park, please say hello. I am always happy to meet folks. Thank you guys for saying hello and taking pictures with me. It makes my day to know that many of you have found these videos helpful for planning your own trips. But as I was saying, pineapple Dole Whip, probably one of my favorite snacks at Disneyland. Get one and take it inside the Tiki Room, and you can eat that Dole Whip while watching the show. Again, a must-do on any Disneyland vacation. When my aunt and my uncle were here for the very first time a couple of weeks ago, they've been to Walt Disney World several times. They said we have to do the Tiki Room, and so we did. We went and we did the Tiki Room. You can mobile order at the Tiki Juice Bar, but you can also go up and order from the other side if you're going to take it into the Tiki Room. We do have a restroom off to our right, and there's a fountain. This is the Adventureland restroom. I did not point out the previous restrooms as we were walking by. That I guess if I'm pointing out everything, I should be pointing out restroom locations too, correct? So this is the Adventureland Bazaar. It's another gift shop. This one is going to be Indiana Jones themed, Stitch themed, and Lion King themed. Basically, adventure, type themes. And that's where you're going to find merchandise from those 3 different IPs specifically in here. There might be some Moana in there as well. Again, the Adventureland Bazaar. But I don't want to get too far because on the other side is the Tropical Hideaway. This is another location where you can get pineapple Dole Whip. And in addition to Dole Whips, you can get mango and strawberry. Actually, so to say, in addition to pineapple, you can get mango and strawberry and peach. There might be another flavor too off the top of my head. I don't remember it, but you can mobile order here. You can stand by it. But they also have bowls and lumpia. They should at least still have, maybe just lumpia. They might not have bao anymore, but they usually have some lumpia over there if you want to order lumpia as well. This is themed for the Enchanted Tiki Room, of course. Welcome to our tropical hideaway, you lucky people, you. So if you're familiar with the Enchanted Tiki Room just by song, this is where you're going to find the seating area for that. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I love the Tropical Hideaway. Always makes me feel like I'm in Hawaii. Over to our left is Jungle Cruise, and at a lot of the rides and attractions you will find places to park strollers and ECVs. And so you can see some ECVs parked outside here, and there's also tons of strollers in there. Every single attraction will have stroller parking somewhere, and they're usually marked. There's a sign over there that says stroller parking. Just look for where all the other strollers are parked as well. That's another good way to be on the lookout for where to park your stroller. Just look for where all the other strollers are. Jungle Cruise, this is the entrance to Jungle Cruise, and it says it is a 15-minute wait currently. You can find wait times on the Disneyland app, or generally posted in the exterior of the attraction. You will find little signs like this that tell you exactly how much time you should expect to wait. So 15-minute wait here at Jungle Cruise. We do have some people up top there. This is not a crowd update, but I'm surprised there's people up top if it's a 15-minute wait. Must be moving pretty quickly. There is no Lightning Lane for this attraction. We'll talk about Lightning Lane a little bit more in just a second, but over here is the Bengal Barbecue. This is another quick service location, and the only quick service location that sells actual lunch type foods here in Adventureland. And they have Bengal skewers, beef skewers, chicken skewers. They've got vegetable skewers, and they have other foods that they sell here as well as drinks. Very, very good. I love to get pineapple spears. I'm not sure if I've got footage of that. You can just get a fresh piece of pineapple in here. They also sell pineapples at little fruit carts, and we actually bypassed one, so we're going to have to backtrack here a little bit because I want to point out the seating area for Bengal Barbecue. It goes back a little ways, but they don't have a whole ton of seats here, so if you have trouble finding a place to sit at Bengal Barbecue, you could go over to Tropical Hideaway. The walk is not that far, but also located throughout the park, you are going to find various fruit markets, and in here you can find all sorts of things. Here's those pineapple spears that I was just talking about, but they've got some other fruit cups like mangoes, and we've got some grapes. We have some strawberries, and they also have hummus and veggie cups with ranch, so you can purchase those as well. Prices are along the back. I'll just pan through those so you can see them. Looks like some apples as well with caramel dipping sauce. And then you can purchase chips, Doritos, Lay's, Cheetos, Funyuns, as well as different bottled beverages if you're looking for sodas or Powerades. And what are these? Just energy drinks, Monster energy drinks. And then they've just got bottles of water over here as well, Smart Water for $5.79. The next attraction that we need to talk about is just beyond Jungle Cruise over there, and it is Indiana Jones Adventure Temple of the Forbidden Eye. This is a Lightning Lane attraction, and a Lightning Lane is essentially a way to skip the line. You're not going to completely skip the line, but it will skip a good chunk of the line, and it is an extra cost. An extra daily cost, usually of around $36 per person per day if you want to get the Lightning Lane, and it allows you on each Lightning Lane attraction once per day. And so between the two parks, I believe there are 22 Lightning Lane attractions. There are 13 at Disneyland and 9 at Disney California Adventure. And let's go around here and I'll show you from the other side. So the way that the rides here at Disneyland work is there are standby lines and then there are Lightning Lane lines. And again, not every ride has a Lightning Lane, but this one does. What you're seeing down here is the standby line. And so all of these people are out here waiting in that 40-minute line. But up there on the bridge, there is, on the closest side to us is the standby line. But on the far side, and you can't really see it all that well, is the Lightning Lane. If you purchase Lightning Lane, you enter over there and you go straight up onto the bridge and you get to go straight into the temple. Whereas all the standby folks have to come out here and they have to weave through everything first. So the Lightning Lane allows you to skip all this line that is sitting out here. However, the merge point is right there, and this is one of the shortest points, one of the rides with the shortest, earliest merges. And what do I mean by that? Well, at some point, the standby line and the Lightning Lane is going to merge, and from that point forward, everybody is in line together. So once you get into the temple, everybody is in line together, but the Lightning Lane will allow you to skip everything that is out here. And again, that's only useful on the 13 rides that have Lightning Lane here at Disneyland. We'll try to point them out, but Temple of the Forbidden Eye is one of those Lightning Lane attractions. I do not have the time to get into every little niche and detail and item about Lightning Lane in this video. I will link to a Lightning Lane video down in the description if you want more information about it. It's chock full of information and tips on how to use it, and the information on the 3 different types of Lightning Lanes that there are as well, because there's several different things that you could purchase. So I don't want to confuse you in this video, but we will point out Lightning Lane attractions as we go. Now we are back out here on the main pathway in Adventureland, headed towards New Orleans Square. So we've got just one more attraction in Adventureland to point out, and it's not a ride, it's a walkthrough experience, and that is going to be the Adventureland Treehouse. And this is themed after the Swiss Family Robinson, and so you can walk through here and you can see you can actually go up the steps and you can walk into their treehouse all the way up there. They'll show you the different rooms of the different children and all sorts of fun stuff, like how they organized water and going throughout their treehouse. This is of course based on the book and the movie Swiss Family Robinson. So that's what you can walk through here. It's a really great walkthrough experience. Definitely recommend doing that as well if you're looking for something to do when lines are really, really long. Now, over here is the entrance to 21 Royal, and this is a big fancy restaurant that we won't get into because it costs like $12,500, I think. You can split it with multiple people to get your burden down, your cost burden down, but 21 Royal, not for the average park goer. And over here is Pirates of the Caribbean. Now this attraction is standby only now. It used to have a Lightning Lane, but it no longer does, so the line that you're seeing is all standby, and we are up on this bridge just past the Adventureland Treehouse. And the queue for that attraction can come all the way up here sometimes, but the entrance to Pirates of the Caribbean is actually right down there. So what we're overlooking is Frontierland over that way, and this here is called the Rivers of America. And we will talk about the Rivers of America a bit more when we get to Frontierland. We're going to bypass Frontierland for right now and continue going on down this way into New Orleans Square. And back in this area, there's all sorts of shops. I'm not going to go back in that area because it's very, very congested. It's hard to walk around and film in there, but there are a ton of shops back there if you want to check out some shops. We will point out the couple of restaurants that are available for us to see here, though. We've got Royal Street Veranda off to our left, and you can get some soups and a sourdough bread bowl here. And there's a couple other things that you can order here. I'll put some clips of different foods that you might be able to order at Royal Street Veranda on your screen. And then during the Halloween time, there is a meet and greet for Jack and Sally right here in front of the Port Royale Curios store. So this line that you see, all these people are lined up for a meet and greet with Jack and Sally. If you see cast members like this who have this white shirt with little red characters on them, these are character cast members, and so usually if you see them, there's a character around, and so Jack and Sally are going to be waiting right in there. In fact, Jack, it looks like it's Jack right now. Jack is doing a character meet and greet. Sally may come out at a different time. They'll alternate. Maybe you might be lucky enough to find them together, but I would just count on it being one of them at a time. Blue Bayou back here is the sit-down restaurant that is located inside Pirates of the Caribbean. If you've seen some footage of the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction and you've seen that they have a restaurant inside, Blue Bayou is that restaurant. It is probably the most coveted dining reservation here at the Disneyland Resort, and so Blue Bayou, everyone loves to eat in there and get the ambiance and the sights of Pirates of the Caribbean as they dine. And I said we weren't going to walk back here, but I see some live music going on, and I want to point that out, that as you walk around at Disneyland, you may find various live music events going on, and so we have some a little bit of a band going on. I love these guys in particular. They've got an accordion and guitar and a big bass, and they play all sorts of pirate, themes. But it's actually good that we came back here because we can see some character artists, and I completely forgot that they even did this. I've never actually had any character art done while I'm here at Disneyland, but I know a lot of people do like characters, and so if you want to purchase some characters, you can do that back here across from Blue Bayou. And hand-painted characters, here are the prices on those, just in case you are interested. We are backtracking now. Pieces of 8 is the Pirates of the Caribbean themed store. And the Port Royale Curios that we walked by where the line was for the Jack and Sally meet and greets, that is the Nightmare Before Christmas and Villains themed store. So they've got both of those different themes. Hello! They've got all sorts of different theming of merchandise for those two things inside the Port Royale Curios. Hello! Continuing along, this outdoor area is Cafe Orleans, another sit-down restaurant. By the way, Blue Bayou was also a sit-down table service restaurant. Cafe Orleans is another one. One of my favorite things to get here at Cafe Orleans is the Monte Cristo, as well as the pommes frites. They are my two favorite items to get from Cafe Orleans, so make sure if you come to Cafe Orleans that you give them a try. Right across from Cafe Orleans is Tiana's Palace, and this is a quick service location. It used to be the French Market, and it's mostly got the same types of foods, but it is themed for Tiana now. And let's go, just the menu is posted out here on the wall. We'll just show you everything that they have. They've got some beignets and gumbo. Lots of gumbo, and they've also got just various Cajon and New Orleans style foods. I particularly like the house gumbo. You can definitely get that if you would like. They also have some jambalaya, if I remember. And the jambalaya was always one of our favorite items. We haven't gotten it a whole lot since they brought it back on the menu. It wasn't there for quite a while. I'm going to walk this way to show you a couple of things. First off, here in the seating area for Tiana's Palace, occasionally they'll have live music, and that live music will take place right here on the stage. The live music lasts about 15 minutes, so it's not terribly long, and it's different times throughout the day. And then back here also is the New Orleans Square Railroad Station. So this is the second railroad station where you can get on the Disneyland Railroad, and I believe they do have handicap accessibility in this one somewhere. At least I thought they did. Maybe they don't. Yes, they do. I thought the only one that didn't have a handicap accessibility was Main Street Station, and I was correct, because here is the handicap accessibility area for the New Orleans Square Railroad Station, so you would go up right up that way. Of course, it's docked right now. I don't know if they're still letting people on, but the railroads, the trains, do tend to come through about every 5 minutes or so. And then also back here is the Mint Julep Bar, and that's located on the other side of Tiana's Palace, and this is where you can get a a New Orleans mint julep, as well as Mickey-shaped beignets, and both items are very good and Disneyland classics. If you've never had a New Orleans mint julep, just a little bit of word of warning, some people don't like it. It's a bit of an acquired taste, but I love it. Mickey beignets, definitely recommend. You should definitely get those when you are here at Disneyland. And then there's another restroom located over that way. Hard to get in that area, and again, it's that area around the shops that I told you I didn't want to go because of how crowded it is. So there's a restroom back there. We've come back now to the, there's Tiana's Palace over there, and then Cafe Orleans, and we're out here on this walkway. Gonna just continue on with the tour. I'm sorry that the video's a bit choppy. I'm just trying to do the least amount of backtracking so that we don't waste a whole lot of time here on the video, because I do think it's gonna be a long one. Here's Haunted Mansion. This is currently Haunted Mansion Holiday. So from about August 22nd this year through January 7th or 8th, it may stay open a little bit later than that. It will be Haunted Mansion Holiday, and this is a Halloween and Christmas version of the Haunted Mansion, so it stays up during the entire 2 seasons here at Disneyland. And yeah, it's about 5 months that this attraction is decked out for Halloween and Christmas. If you want to see it in its classic form, you have to come basically somewhere between mid-January and mid-August. Otherwise, you will find it as Haunted Mansion Holiday. This does have a lightning lane. In fact, we are in the lightning lane entrance right now. The standby line is over here, so that's what you're seeing is the standby line. It goes through these new gardens that they just added recently, and it gives you something to look at. And this is probably one of the more popular attractions at Disneyland. Everyone wants to come and to go on the Haunted Mansion. And right outside the Haunted Mansion, we do have some stroller parking here again, always marked as a stroller parking. If you want to look for signage that tells you stroller parking, or once again, just look for other strollers and that you know that you can park there. Here we have a churro cart. I think this is the first churro cart that we've come across as we are walking along there. We've passed many, but they're just on the other side of the road that we said we would get to in a little bit. A lot of the churro carts will have special seasonal churros, and they're unique to this cart, so be on the lookout for that. This is the Straw Batty churro, and then they also have a couple of other things that you can purchase there as well. But you can just purchase a standard cinnamon churro for $5.75 at these churro carts. You don't have to purchase the seasonal version, but again, each seasonal churro cart will, or each churro cart will tend to have its own unique seasonal churro. There's a lot of seasonal churros around the park, so you have to check those out. Here is another one of those ice cream carts. Again, just pointing out the location and that it exists. We won't dive deeper into what they have there. And then here is the Harbor Galley. Harbor Galley is another quick service location at Disneyland, and this one is popular for their cookies. They have all sorts of different cookies throughout the year. Right now they've got some pumpkin cookies. They might still sell the Nestle Toll House cookies at the same time, I'm not sure. But the Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookies are very, very popular here at Harbor Galley. They also have a lot of seafood type dishes, and I'll put some of those on your screen just so you can see some of the different foods that you can get here at the Harbor Galley. And you'll see the SS Columbia, the sailing ship Columbia, parked in the dry dock over here. It's not actually dry at the moment, but in the harbor, and that's why it's called Harbor Galley, because it's parked in the harbor. And they will use this for repairs. Sometimes they'll drain it and make it a dry dock, but it's not currently. They'll keep the sailing ship Columbia there until they pull it out for the day, and then it'll be in use along with the Mark Twain riverboat, which we will point out when we get to Frontierland. Harbor Galley is also technically part of Frontierland, but since we won't be walking over this way again, I thought we'd point it out now. That is the exit to Haunted Mansion right over there, and as you come out, you will walk right by Madame Leota's Somewhere Beyond, and this is a Haunted Mansion themed gift shop. If you want to find Haunted Mansion merchandise, go in here and check it out. That entire store is totally dedicated to the Haunted Mansion. This is Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Used to be Splash Mountain. Now what used to be called Critter Country has been rethemed as Bayou Country, and the primary attraction, the big theming, is going to be Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Same type of ride as Splash Mountain, if you are familiar with that attraction from previous research and things. And you can see the big drop here. Keep in mind that you don't have seatbelts on this ride. You go down that big drop without any seatbelts. You're not going to fall out, don't worry. I've ridden it many times. Never felt like I was going to fall out, but it is a fear of some because there's no seatbelts. This is actually not the drop that gets you the wettest. There's one in the inside of the attraction that it's completely pitch black when you go through the drop, and that is where you get absolutely drenched. But this one's pretty fun. You can see how often people are dropping there from Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Now we're going over this bridge that takes us from New Orleans Square into Bayou Country, and off to the right you will find another one of those fruit markets. And this is like the one that we saw inside the Adventureland Bazaar and Bengal barbecue area. They've got pineapple spears, pickles, mangoes, hummus, Baby Bells. I don't think I pointed Baby Bells out before. They got little Baby Bell cheeses there too. Davy Crockett's Explorer Canoes, because it's off season. It is not the summertime anymore. They only operate this on weekends, and I'm here on a Thursday, so it is not running, but this is an attraction. This is a ride. It requires manual labor. There is no track. You have an oar, and you are actually paddling throughout the rivers of America. And it's got some Jungle Cruise style humor, and I just love this attraction. A lot of people don't just because it requires manual labor, but I think everybody should do it at least once. Give it a shot. I do love me the Davy Crockett's Explorer Canoes. Now, the entrance to Tiana's Bayou Adventure is located down this way, again in Bayou Country. We will swing back by and talk about Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree in just a minute. We're trying to focus on everything that's on the left-hand side of the path first off, and here is Ray's Berets, and this is going to be a hat store. If you're looking for hats here at the Disneyland Resort, come to Ray's Berets. That is one of the places you're going to want to check for hats specifically. Tiana's Bayou Adventure here, currently posted at a 60-minute standby wait, and this is the entrance to the standby line. If you want to ride this, you got to come down here and go into that entrance. But if you have the Lightning Lane, we can continue going all the way down here, and you'll be able to get in the Lightning Lane, which will bypass a good chunk of that attraction's line. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh off to the right, currently temporarily closed. They've got a rope up. Nobody's allowed to go in there. They'll get it up and going again in the next 15 minutes or so. It's just temporarily closed. It's not closed for the season or anything like that. This is a small dark ride, and very similar to a lot of the old classic rides, a lot of the old classic Disney rides. Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh has fun Winnie the Pooh theming and stories in a slow-moving dark ride attraction that's suitable for all ages. And then here is the Lightning Lane entrance and single rider entrance to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And so this is where you would come in. You'd have to come down here if you have either Lightning Lane or you want to do single rider. How does single rider work? Well, anybody, like a family could go in single rider, but just be aware that you will be split up. You will not be sitting with each other when you go through the ride. And the minimum age for single rider is 7 years old because, again, they will be split off from the rest of the family. So you cannot use it if somebody in your party is less than 7 years old because they cannot ride by themselves. And that's the whole idea of the single rider. It's not that you have to be single to ride the single rider. It's just that you will be riding by yourself. Over off to our right is a meet and greet for Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh not currently out, but you see the line that is queued up waiting for Winnie the Pooh or Eeyore or Tigger or some other Winnie the Pooh type character. They do a meet and greet down here, and I'm not exactly sure which characters are coming out when. You can check the Disneyland app. They might have scheduling on there for you for that. This is Lewis's Critter Club. So this is the Tiana's Bayou Adventure themed gift shop. When you get out of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, you will come out from this direction over here, and they have photos, ride photos that are going to be taken during the attraction when you're on the ride. And if you want that photo, they've got numbers along the top, and you can input that into your app to link it, and then you can purchase the photo if you did not purchase Photo Pass. If you did not purchase PhotoPass, they'll let you purchase the photo inside that app or buy PhotoPass. Additionally, if you bought Lightning Lane Multi-Pass for the day, you will also get complimentary photos as a result of purchasing a Lightning Lane Multi-Pass. So keep that in mind. And then when you get off of the ride, you can come into Lewis's Critter Club if you're looking for some merchandise, t-shirts, or memorabilia that are Tiana's Bayou Adventure themed. Like here in the window, we can see a Spirit jersey for Tiana's Bayou Adventure, as well as a photo frame. And then if we keep walking this way, Here is another one of those mailboxes that we pointed out. Again, we're not pointing out every single one of those mailboxes, just that they exist throughout the park. And then here's another one of those key locations. And this one is specific to Bayou Country. And remember, you have to unlock all the keys and all 9 lands around the park in order to open up the pin that is in the key to Disneyland at the end, which was back in the entrance to Disneyland. This store right here is Pooh Corner. And if we come inside here, we'll just poke inside here real quick. Because not only do they have merchandise for Winnie the Pooh in Pooh Corner, which you can see all along there, shirts and ears, but Pooh Corner is a confectionery as well. And so in here you can get all sorts of goodies, just like up at Candy Palace, but here you can get the Tigger Tail, which is unique to Pooh Corner. You cannot find the Tigger Tail anywhere else. And this is chocolate and orange flavored marshmallow one. Very, very good. Now, because this land dead ends and we just have to walk back all the way up to Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree, I'm going to turn the camera off and we'll meet you back up there at the top. And here we are back up at Ray's Berets, and we are just going to swing around and go into Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. Now, this is probably one of the largest seating areas for a quick service restaurant here at the Disneyland Resort, and highly recommend coming here if you don't want to have to fight for a table. If the idea of, walking around and looking for a table stresses you out, come to Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. There's almost always a table. It's a 2-story dining, lots and lots of tables. What do they have here? Well, they have mostly a barbecue food, and I'm gonna once again cycle through a lot of the different food items that they have here at Hungry Bear. You can stand by, which is what all these people over here are doing, stand by and they're ordering their food at the cash register, or you can mobile order, and this takes place for most dining locations throughout the Disneyland Resort. You can mobile order on the Disneyland app, which is my recommended way to order your food. You can do so from the line in a ride. You're waiting in line for a ride, you can be looking at the different mobile order menus throughout the park, figuring out what you want to eat. Mobile order, you can schedule it for a different time. So if you want to eat at 11:30 and it's 10:45 and you're standing in line somewhere, you can just kill the time that you're standing in line looking at food, order it for 11:30, and then you have from 11:30 to 11:45 to pick it up, and you can absolutely come over here, punch that you're here, and then when it's ready, they will deliver it right here at the mobile order pickup booths. Now, something else that you can do, even if you don't have an order, you can come get free cups of ice water here, and I need to do that right now. So we're just gonna walk up to the counter and ask for a cup of ice water. And this is the cup that they gave me, and it used to be filled with tons of water, but I have already downed the thing. I was that thirsty. Again, you can just do that at any of the quick service restaurants. Just walk up to the mobile order window and ask for a cup of water, and they will give it to you for free. And again, here's the dining area. The seating goes all the way back there too, loads and loads of seats, and all the seating that you see up here is also doubled downstairs as well. So you can find it upstairs or downstairs, lots of tables around. As we're headed out of here, it asks us to have a very great day. Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. And now we're going to walk down this pathway, and this is going to take us to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So we're leaving Bayou Country, headed into Star Wars. The transition is very subtle and very slight, and I love that. You don't even really know that you're making the transition until you're already in Galaxy's Edge. There's another restroom down here at the bottom of Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. There's also a fuel rod swapping station back there as well. If you have a fuel rod to charge your cell phone, you can do free swaps at Disneyland. If you are swapping pretty much anywhere else, like if you're at the airport, if you're at Universal Studios, they're going to charge you maybe $2 or $3 to swap out your fuel rod. But if you do swaps here at Disneyland, they are free, absolutely free. Do not charge you other than to make the initial purchase. But if you have a fuel rod from a previous purchase, those work just fine. You can also purchase them on Amazon if you want to. A little bit cheaper than buying a fuel rod here in the park for the first time, but Amy has a fuel rod and she uses it all the time. I prefer to bring this guy right here, and this is a MagSafe charger that goes on the back of my phone, magnetically connects to the back of my phone. And I like that because it's got no cords. I don't need to mess with cords. It works with my iPhone. and magnetically connect to the back of my phone for charging my phone. But she uses the fuel rod because she likes that when it runs out, she can just get a swap, and now it's fully charged, and she doesn't have to worry about dealing with that. Mine, you know, it could run out of charge. Now, it's usually lasts me a good solid 2 or 3 charges, so I don't have to worry too much about it. But in any case, fuel rod swaps, you could do that back there at Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree and many other locations around the park as well. We are already in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge now. I don't know if you saw what I meant about just such a subtle switch. You can tell because of the music, but as we get deeper, you'll be able to see the Star Wars theming a bit more. The line for Rise of the Resistance is over off to our left, and I do not see anybody in line, which leads me to believe that this attraction is temporarily closed. That happens from time to time, folks. Rides break down, and oh, I think it just opened. It's just opening right now. Do you see this? All the people suddenly lining up. They will often hang around here waiting for it to reopen. There are probably some people still in the line who were allowed in the line before, so it's not like these are going to be the only people that are getting in, but definitely if you got in line right now, it's probably one of the shortest waits that you're going to find because it's just coming off of being broken. We're not going to bother with that too much for right now. Star Wars Rise of the Resistance does have Lightning Lane, and this is a single pass Lightning Lane. And that means that this one, if you buy a Lightning Lane for this, it's only eligible for this attraction. That's it. And it is like $25 per person. So it's not like multi-pass that gets into multiple rides. And again, check out the Lightning Lane video if you need some more clarifications on that. We do have an A-Wing over here and an X-Wing. If you are a Star Wars fan and you'd like to look at some really cool stuff, get some photos, absolutely do that. We have some outdoor kiosks for shopping and merchandise, Star Wars related here. And this is also the exit to Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. Rise of the Resistance is the most popular attraction at Disneyland Park. It is usually the one with the longest line. And again, this is the exit right over there for Rise of the Resistance. This pathway will take us deeper into Galaxy's Edge towards the other attraction that is located here, as well as all the food and shopping. That's going to be further this way. I'm actually going to turn the camera off because this pathway is somewhat long. And there wasn't really a whole lot to look at. So this is the marketplace. This is where that pathway has taken us. That pathway does continue if you go along the outside path there, but very similar to the pathway that I just skipped on the camera. There's not a whole lot to look at that way. So if you want to see what there is to do and the different offerings here, we're going to come into the marketplace because there's a restroom right over there. And then there's a water refill station over here, as well as some water fountains. There is a Dianoga in the tank there that occasionally will come out. That's really fun if you're a Star Wars fan. They do have lots of merchandise in here, being that it's the marketplace. So check out all of the different shops that are through here. They have different stuffies, and they've got Jedi robes and all sorts of other gear that you could take a look at. But this area right over here is called Katsaka's Kettle, and this is where you can get some Star Wars popcorn. You can get some regular popcorn, but they also have special Star Wars themed popcorn over here as well. And it looks like right now they've also got a few items that I didn't even know that they had. They've got the Black Spire waffle. Didn't know that they had waffles. They've got the Huttese spiced cheese kernels. Interesting. And I didn't know that they had the Black Calf slushy. The cold brew Black Calf is probably the most popular coffee beverage at the Disneyland Resort. We'll point out where to get that in just a second. But this is a slushy version of it. I won't be getting it because I don't like coffee. But we'll keep going here. Oh, look down here. You'll also find characters just milling around the park. Right there is Boba Fett. So Boba Fett's doing a meet and greet out here, and you can just walk up to him and talk to him. And I don't think he signs autograph books, I don't believe. I don't think any of the characters in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge sign autograph books, but you can absolutely get photos of Boba Fett, and he talks like they're talking characters. They've got, my guess is, pre-programmed things that they can trigger for the mask to say. So that's pretty great. And then this is Ronto Roasters. Ronto Roasters is a really great place to get some food. They have 3 different types of wraps here, and all 3 of them are amazing. There's the Ronto wrap, there's the Ronto-less Ronto wrap, and then the breakfast Ronto wrap. Again, all three versions of them, whether you're getting the standard, the vegetarian version, or the breakfast version. Phenomenal. Love the Ronto wraps. They've also got some good drinks here as well. Seating is somewhat limited, but they do have a lot of different seating on the exterior of the attraction, or of the restaurant. And we're gonna come down here real quick to point something out. So let's just walk by some of the other seating options for you. I cover all of this in my food guide, but this is kind of like a conglomeration, I suppose, of food guide and ride guide and everything else, but with a little less detail than both of those videos. So here's some more seating for Ronto roasters. And then also along this main path down here, there are even more tables, and you can see Boba Fett down there where we were just looking at him. This door straight over here, this is Star Wars Bounty Hunters, and this is something that you do with a Magic Band. So you have to have a Magic Band, and you have to have the Disney Parks app, the Play Disney Parks app, and you will touch your Magic Band here, and it will send you on a scavenger hunt all throughout the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge here. It's going to ask you to find certain features, and your Magic Band will pulse when you're getting close, and it'll slow down when you're getting further away, so it's kind of like hot and cold. When you find the things that you're supposed to find, you can come back to this door, and you can put your hand with your Magic Band in here, and then some little eyes are going to pop up in the screen. You're going to get some points on the Play Disney Parks app, and it's something that if you are especially a pass holder, you can come back and do over and over and over again. You can do it once, absolutely. There's no harm in doing it once, but I think it's more designed for somebody who's going to be doing it multiple times. Then we're going to walk over here to the Droid Shop. And the Droid Shop is one of two extra paid activities that you can do here in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. This one is the cheaper of the two options, and you can come in here and you can build your own custom droid. You used to have reservations for this, but they really don't have a whole lot of demand anymore, so reservations aren't necessary. You could absolutely just walk up. This is $100 to build your own droid, or you can get a droid bundle for $178. I don't know what's all included in the droid bundle, but you will go over there and you'll pick different droid parts, and then you'll bring them over here and you'll actually build your droid, choose a personality chip, and all that sort of thing right here. They've got a little screwdriver that you can do, and it's just fun to build your own droid. Absolutely worthwhile experience if you are thinking about doing it. They also have a droid accessory kits that you can purchase, so you can come over here and look, this one's a Halloween themed one. Like if you want to update your R2 unit, you can get the panels and things that go on him, so you can customize him and buy these little accessory panels after the fact. So that's one thing that you can do, is the Droid Depot. And then the next one is going to be over here. And this one is Savvy's Workshop. And this is where you can build your own lightsaber. And so this is a little nondescript, right? It doesn't look like a whole lot, but that's because the whole idea is the Jedi are in hiding from the First Order, and so it's got to look nondescript. But all these people over here are waiting for the lightsaber experience, and this is about $220-ish. I'm not exactly sure on the price off the top of my head. About $220. It's a show as well, but you get to build your own lightsaber, choose your own lightsaber parts. I did this. It was a wonderful show, wonderful experience, and I highly recommend it for sure. You can take several people in with you. I think you can take up to 2 people in with you, and they can watch. Only one person can build, but they can take 2 people in for that $220 price. If you want more people to build, you have to pay the price again, of course, for the additional people to do the building. The price is just for one builder, and up to 2 observers, I believe, can go in there with you. So we're going to walk back up here. This is Ronto Roasters again. We're just a couple of steps away is Savvy's Workshop and what we were just showing you. Then this store off to our right, doesn't look like a store, but it is a store, this right here, is Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities. And that is just a really great place to go shopping if you are a huge Star Wars fan. There's all sorts of decor in there that's not necessarily for purchase, but just it's going to make the Star Wars fan very, very happy. Definitely go in there. Cannot recommend that store enough. And then over here is Docking Bay 7. Docking Bay 7 is the primary quick service location here at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I'm not even going to try to tell you what they have to eat here, but you're going to see it on your screen, of course. Beef, chicken, and the like, all sorts of different foods. This is also where you're going to get the cold brew black calf. And that is that popular coffee beverage that I mentioned that everybody likes to get. And then they've got some external seating over here, but they've got external seating here as well. Internal seating, they've got inside seating, and then they've got seating on there's a lot of seating here for Docking Bay 7 as well. But we're gonna keep going, trying to keep this tour as concise as possible. Hope you guys are still hanging around. I have not done this in a while, but if you are still watching, please let me know by telling me down in the comments that you're still watching, because I assume this is a long video, and I think we're only about halfway through. This is Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, another Lightning Lane attraction. This is on multi-pass, so if you purchase the main Lightning Lane thing for $36 per person per day, this attraction is included on that. They also have a single rider line in there as well. I love single rider because this is one of the attractions where you might actually end up with a family member. Oftentimes there are six people in each vehicle, and oftentimes a family of 4 will go, so they will take 2 single riders to fill in the other 2 seats. So me and my son end up in the same vehicle all the time on this one, so I do love single rider at this attraction. But of course the Millennium Falcon right out front here, everybody loves this. Take photos in front of the Millennium Falcon. You also see characters doing meet and greets out here. Chewie and Rey will sometimes do character meet and greets. I've seen R2-D2 walking around before, so that you can look for those characters in this particular area. Kylo Ren and the Stormtroopers will also be walking around through this general area as well. Off to our left is a little restaurant called Oga's Cantina, and again, it looks kind of nondescript. You wouldn't really be able to tell from the outside. You'd be like, well, what is that? Why are all these people around? Oga's Cantina is primarily a place where you can get some alcohol, but they also have non-alcoholic beverages and some food items in there. I'll put some pictures of some of the non-alcoholic beverages that I've gotten, as well as the food that I've gotten from in there on your screen. I do not drink alcohol, but I have gone to Oga's Cantina 4 or 5 times. They no longer accept advanced dining reservations here. This is a standby only location, so whenever you come over here, hello. Just met some lovely people from Washington. Thank you guys for saying hello. It's always a pleasure. As I was saying here with Oga's Cantina, I've been in there multiple times. You can join the walk-up wait list by talking to the cast member here, the outside of the attraction, or you can just go on the Disneyland app and you can join the walk-up wait list from there. It'll tell you how long it approximately is for your wait. Go do other things, and then once you get a text, you have 10 minutes to come back to this location, and then you stand in this line again, and you'll be seated. You'll be seated as soon as you can. Actually, seated is probably the wrong word. They don't have a whole lot of seats in there. They do have some, but they also have just a lot of stand-around tables. A lovely experience, amazing. If you're a Star Wars fan, just being at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is totally gonna rock your socks off. I love being here. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love Oga's Cantina. I love all the rides. I love all the food. I mean, I just love everything about this land. Even this. I mean, look at this. Okay, so if I come over here, they've just got a little soda cart where you can purchase, bottled beverages. And I want to show you the bottled beverages that you can get here. Have all sorts of different little Star Wars Galaxy's Edge symbols on them. Isn't that really cool? And something else that the Star Wars fan has to absolutely try is over here at the milk stand. You got to try the blue milk or the green milk. I am team blue milk personally. I love the blue milk over the green milk. My wife is team no milk. Absolutely, some people just don't like this. That's why you got to try it. Okay, you got to try it. Be adventurous. If you haven't never tried the blue or the green milk and you're a Star Wars fan, it is an absolute must. This over here is Kylo Ren's space shuttle, and they will do a stage show here. You got to look in the app for the times that they do it, but it's definitely worth catching. Love that. Afterwards, Kylo Ren and the Stormtroopers will walk down and they'll start doing meet and greets, and they'll start milling around this area. And there's another gift shop over there. So now from the space shuttle here, if you were to go out this exit, this is one of 3 entrances to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. This takes you to Fantasyland. We don't want to go to Fantasyland just yet. We want to go to Frontierland. So we're going to walk this direction, which is actually going to take us back towards the Droid Depot and Savvy's workshop. But along the way, I want to point out that there is another restroom over here. The restrooms at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge are some of my favorite restrooms to visit because they're quite large and they're quite spacious. I have a restroom video that we put out that I'll link to down in the description. It's not a very popular video. As you can imagine, the topic can be quite dull bathrooms, but a very useful video video, and it's gotten tons of comments from people that really appreciate the bathroom video for pointing out the different restrooms and explaining the sizes. We don't show the interiors, of course, of the restrooms. That would be just a little weird, but we talk about the size of the restrooms, the privacy version of the restrooms. Like, that one's gonna be a busier restroom, but it's larger, so it still feels pretty spacious. There are some that are more remote, and they are better if you would like some more privacy versus some of the more busier restrooms. That's what the restroom video does. It points out all that sort of stuff. We do have some more merchandise in the tunnel here as we are working our way out of Galaxy's Edge, and as you can see, we've already left the decor and the appearance and the architecture of Galaxy's Edge behind in exchange for Frontierland, which is going to be a lot of these red rock type appearances. And straight ahead is going to be Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. And this attraction, as of the time of this filming, which is Thursday, September 4th, is currently closed for refurbishment. By the way, here is another one of those frozen food trucks, frozen food carts again. Just trying to point that type of stuff out to you so you can see how frequently they do appear. They do have this little water area over here. It's really great. Not a whole lot of use for this other than just aesthetics and appearance. Water adds just a wonderful ambiance to the park to break up the concrete. And over there is a pumpkin, I think it's a Moana pumpkin for the Pluto scavenger hunt that we pointed out at the beginning. So again, you can find those pumpkins all throughout the park, and then you're meant to put the stickers on your map and then take the completed map back to get a prize. Here's another pretzel cart. If you're looking for pretzels like they have at Refreshment Corner, there's a cart here in Frontierland that sells those pretzels outside of that restaurant. Oh, look at this. The train for Big Thunder Mountain Railroad's got, it's just stuck in the middle of the track here with tarps all over it. That's a little strange. Usually when they're doing construction, they put the cars in the dock, like, wherever backstage area they store the vehicles. It's odd that they've got it out on the track covered in a tarp. As we round the corner here, you're going to see the Mark Twain riverboat. We might not catch it. I think it's sailing away, or it's getting very close to sailing away. Maybe when we walk down here, we'll be able to see it very briefly. But the Mark Twain riverboat goes around the rivers of America. It's about a 12-minute ride along the waterways there. Really like it if it's really crowded in the park and you're looking for something that doesn't have a long line, and it's just a nice relaxing journey. Listen to a little breeze as you're going through it too, so a good way to get cool as it is going along the rivers of America. This here to the right is called the Ship to Shore Marketplace. It's another one of those fruit markets where you can buy pickles and pineapple spears and bottled beverages, but they also have, in addition to that, they've also got chimichangas, like the breakfast chimichanga that we talk about all the time here on the channel, turkey legs, as well as corn on the cob. So you can come over here to the Ship to Shore Marketplace. The breakfast chimichangas are only while supplies last, so once they run out in the morning. So if you are interested in the breakfast chimichanga in particular, you should come sooner rather than later. This is the entrance area to the sailing ship Columbia as well as the Mark Twain. So both ships dock right here, and the sailing ship Columbia that we pointed out earlier is actually a museum. You can go down in the lower parts of the ship and you can see a museum of what it would look like on an actual sailing ship. And this is the Mark Twain riverboat. Again, it's got 3 different levels. Sometimes the 3rd level isn't open, so they've just got these 2 levels going, but really like going on there. They've got some seats in the front. Whenever it's hot and sunny, you probably don't want to sit up there, but being up on the second deck and get the wind blowing through, you might be able to hear wind blowing by right now. Really refreshing on a hot day for sure to come along the Mark Twain riverboat. Then we want to point out the Golden Horseshoe. The Golden Horseshoe is a quick service location. There's 3 quick service locations here in Frontierland, and the Golden Horseshoe is going to be where you are going to find chicken tenders and I don't even really know what other foods they have here. I'll put some on your screen, the things that we've got in the past. I don't eat here all that often because I'm not a big, huge chicken tender person, but they have different types of chicken tenders, different seasonal types of chicken tenders that they'll often have. They also have good ice cream floats and sodas, so this is a good place for those types of items. And then right next door to that is a Stage Door Cafe, which has many of the same types of food items as the Golden Horseshoe, but you'll also be able to find funnel cakes here, as well as has corn dogs. If you're looking for some corn dogs, there's another place to get corn dogs in the park too, but the Stage Door Cafe for some funnel cakes and corn dogs. And then they have outdoor seating here for the Stage Door Cafe. And oh look, it's Tiana. Hi Tiana. And then in the Golden Horseshoe, it actually, let's just walk inside real quick just so you can see the interior of it. One of the biggest reasons that people come to the Golden Horseshoe is not necessarily for the food, but it's for the ambiance. It's for the appearance in here. And so you come in here, and they used to have stage shows in here. They don't really anymore, but it still is a wonderfully themed and decorated restaurant. You can eat in the upper levels. They've got a lot of seats up there, and then you can also eat down here in the lower levels as well. Stepping out of the Golden Horseshoe, straight across the way is another popcorn cart. And we are going to walk this way very briefly. This is going down towards New Orleans Square, which we went through earlier, where Pirates of the Caribbean was and all of that. But there is another restaurant up here down off to the left that we need to point out. And then we will turn around and go the other direction here shortly. And here it is, the River Belle Terrace. This is the fourth and final table service restaurant at Disneyland Park. We already pointed out Carnation Cafe, Blue Bayou, and Cafe Orleans. River Belle Terrace is the fourth and last one of those. I've eaten here for breakfast most recently. I don't believe any of these items are on their menu any longer. They change their menu quite frequently, but you can see what we got for breakfast. And then we also ate here at lunch maybe about 2 years ago. Again, this food is no longer offered, but you can see the types of food that they sell here at River Belle Terrace. And so you can consider making a reservation here if you so desire. Then we have this little cart is another one of the frozen food carts for Mickey bars, Mickey ice cream sandwiches, and the like. And then this is going to be the stroller parking area for Pirates of the Caribbean. There's the entrance for Pirates of the Caribbean right over there that we bypassed earlier. This over here across on the Rivers of America is Tom Sawyer Island, and you can go over there and you can explore it. And there are some rafts right over there, the Pirate's Lair to Tom Sawyer Island, rafts to the Pirate's Lair. The Pirate's Lair is on the other side of Tom Sawyer Island. This is a very big island. It is a kids' playground. Like the kids, if you have young kids, my kids are aged 11 and almost 8, and they love going over to Tom Sawyer Island and exploring. There's a lot of caves and fun things to explore and look at over there, so definitely take younger kids over there. Highly recommend that as well. And you could do that by taking the rafts that are over right in front of there's the sailing ship Columbia. The rafts are right in front of that, and you can take the rafts over to Tom Sawyer Island, and you can absolutely go explore. To get off of the island, you have to take the rafts back over here. So the rafts kind of do restrict you a little bit. They're a little slow and they take a while, but it is fun. It's worth going over there if you have the time. It is a bit of a time commitment, so if you're only here for one day, it may not be something that you consider doing. But if you're here for 3 days minimum, definitely up to 5, definitely consider going over there if you have little kids. Here comes the Mark Twain Riverboat, and it has finally set sail. And so it goes again through the Rivers of America, as does the sailing ship Columbia. Both of them go sailing through here. Right now, sailing ship Columbia not in operation today, but the Mark Twain Riverboat is. Sometimes both of them are running, sometimes it's only one. Hello! The Golden Horseshoe playing some very Hawaiian sounding music at the moment. That's pretty strange. Here's another churro cart. Wanted to point out churro carts for you. And this time, the seasonal churro. Oh, look, they do still have the 70th celebration churro. That is the ube sugar churro. I didn't realize they still had that. I looked on the app, and they did not have it on the app. But looks like they still do have it in person. This is, I don't know what this area is actually called officially, but this is the Cocoa area, and also the Encanto area. There we go, Encanto. So Mirabel will do meet and greets here, as well as Miguel from Coco. You'll have two different, here's the Encanto area over here, Los Madrigal. And so you've got Mirabel meet and greets, and a Miguel meet and greet. If we keep going along this pathway, we're going to come across the third quick service location here in Frontierland, and that is going to be over off to our left, and that is Rancho del Zocalo. And this is another very large seating area restaurant. If you're looking for a place where you don't have to fight for a table on a busy day, Rancho del Zocalo is one that you should consider. Rancho del Zocalo has Mexican foods. We're talking burritos and tortilla chips and rice bowls and the like. And that's going to be here at Rancho del Zocalo. And they also have some really nice theming here as well. Just nice murals. I love being over here at this restaurant. It's a pretty good restaurant too. Right outside of Rancho del Zocalo is the Shooting Exposition, and this is a great place for a little activity that doesn't cost a whole lot, 50 cents for a couple of quarters. You can come over here and you can aim at the different targets that are around here, shoot the different targets, and they have different animations and things that'll pop up whenever you shoot the target. So this is a fun activity that I also consider worth doing, especially since it only costs 50 cents. If it's especially busy in the park, come over here and enjoy some shooting exposition. But you can even come over here even if it's not busy. I like to do it from time to time. There is a change machine right out here, so if you don't worry about you don't have change on you, you can put a dollar bill, $5 bill. I don't know if you want to put a $5 bill in there. There's a lot of quarters, but just bring a dollar with you. You'll be able to do that. This is the Westward Ho Trading Company right here, and this is where you're going to find a lot of pins and magic bands and other trading type items. So here is just walls and walls of pins in here. So if you are into pin trading, this is going to be a place that you want to come check out, the Westward Ho Trading Company. They also have some starter kits down here where they give you a lanyard as well as 4 starter pins, so you can look at those. And then over here are magic bands. So if you want to buy a magic band in the park, they got a pretty good selection of magic bands inside Westward Ho Trading Company, as well as another fuel rod exchange station right here. Looks like the cost for a single fuel rod here in the park is $38. $38 for one fuel rod. So if you can find it cheaper somewhere else, the initial purchase, absolutely do that, but free swaps, free exchanges once you have one. And then Pioneer Mercantile here is probably the second largest gift shop in the entire store, or in the entire park. Definitely come check this one out, especially if you're looking for seasonal merchandise. They always have some good seasonal merchandise here in Pioneer Mercantile. So right now that's going to be Halloween. There are probably some 70th anniversary stuff in there as well, but this is a pretty big store. It runs the entire length all the way down to Golden Horseshoe. So this entire building is all Pioneer Mercantile. Go in and check it out. Some unofficial Disney pin trading going on over here, and by unofficial I mean like this spot is organized by Disney. They've set up these tables for them, but Disney cast members are not over here like running it or anything like that. These are people who bring their own pins, and you can do some pin trading here inside of Frontierland. And so I told you to make note when we were starting Adventureland that we were going to be coming right back to the hub, and here we are back in the hub area. And we're going to point out a few more things as we walk along here in the hub. First off, straight ahead is the statue of Walt and Mickey in the very middle here. And you can get a photo with Walt and Mickey, and then the castle right off to the left. You might be able to see the castle in the photo with Walt and Mickey. But there is another U.S. letterbox, U.S. mail letters box right here on this post as we are going towards that. And we'll walk up towards the castle now. This little green cart is a turkey leg and a dill pickle cart. You want to purchase pickles, you want to purchase turkey legs, very similar, and corn on the cob, very similar to what we saw at Ship to Shore Marketplace. You can also purchase those here at this pickle cart, this green cart right there. Before we go over to the castle, we're going to pop over off to the left here, because there's something over here that you need to be aware of as well, and that's going to be the Royal Theater. Welcome to the theater, the famous Royal Theater. They have musical presentations that go on here on the weekends only during the off season, so it's not running today because it's a Thursday, but sometimes they'll have this open just as a place to cool off and cool down. But from what I saw yesterday, The sprinklers went off in here and flooded the whole area, so I see some machines over there drying the whole area. They've got it blocked off, not letting anybody in here. But generally speaking, if it's a weekday, they will let you come in here and get out of the sun and cool off. But during the weekends, they have Beauty and the Beast shows in here and Tangled shows. So they'll have actual characters. They'll have Rapunzel and Flynn Rider, and then they'll have Belle. I think it's just Belle in the Beauty and the Beast ones that will come and make appearances here during the musical shows. And then Mr. Smythe and Mr. Jones are the comedic acts, and I really like coming over here. Both shows are really great. You don't want to miss those. Even if you don't have kids, you don't want to miss them. They're really, really fun. Maurice's Treats is one of my favorite places to get snacks here at Disneyland. The garlic cheesy pretzel bread, as well as the Boys and Apple Freeze, two of my favorite items located right here at Maurice's Treats. It's so hot, I'm feeling like I should probably get another Boys and Apple Freeze, but I already got one here last week, and I need to try to limit myself. This is the Royal Hall. 30-minute wait currently posted for the Royal Hall, and that is to meet princesses. And you never know really what princesses you are going to get, but this is a princess meet and greet that does have, well, the line is over there is the 30 minutes. It looks like they're also doing a Rapunzel and Flynn Rider meet and greet currently, and this little line that is queued up. Now, it's not always them. The characters will rotate here, but right now it is Rapunzel and Flynn Rider, and that's what this particular line is for. This little tower right here is Rapunzel's tower, and at night it'll light up and do all sorts of fun things at different times, so nice to check out that. There's a gift shop over there, and then this hallway will take you to Rancho del Zocalo, and there's a restroom down that way as well. Over here is Clopin's Music Box, and so this is fun. There's a little hand crank, and you can come over here and you can really fun for the kids to to come around. It's simple, but it's a fun little thing worth pointing out. Something to do at Disneyland. And there is that line for Rapunzel and Flynn Rider pretty long. Wasn't expecting that, wrapping all the way around here. You can go to the left up towards Fantasyland that way, but most people are, of course, going to want to come over here to the castle. And you'll want to get your photos. Remember what we said earlier about the PhotoPass cast members? Here is another one. You can tell them by their teal and blue and green outfits. They'll take photos for you. And again, that's right here in front of the castle. Everyone wants to get photos in front of the castle. You can walk through the castle, of course, and we're going to do that right now to head on into Fantasyland. Over there is Snow White's wishing well, and Snow White is doing a meet and greet at her wishing well right now. But if you throw some coins in there, occasionally you'll hear music play. If it's working properly, you'll hear some music play at the wishing well, and so that's a fun little thing to do over there. This is the Enchanted Chamber right here, and there's an entrance to it over here. And this is going to be something that you can do for like outfits and costumes for little kids. So come over here to the Enchanted Chamber if you are looking for some costumes. Oh, that's fine. And here we have another little outdoor merchandise cart. Not going to spend a whole lot of time on that, but what I do want to point out is a Sleeping Beauty Castle walkthrough experience here right on the other side. You can see the walkway to Frontierland that we told you about if you wanted to come up that one side path, but Sleeping Beauty walkthrough experience takes you up the entire castle. You do have to be able to walk through steps because you go up over the bridge here and then you go back down. If you cannot do steps, they do have a handicap accessible version over here on if they've got the Enchanted Chamber over there, it's on the opposite side of the drawbridge here, and this is going to be the handicap accessible room, and you can go in there and you can watch the entire walkthrough on a video screen. There's people in there right now, so we're not going to go in there and disturb them, but there is a video screen in there that will show you the entire walkthrough, all the murals and everything that you would have seen if you did it yourself, just on video, so you're not missing a whole lot. It is cool to walk through it if you can. Merlin's Marvelous Miscellany. Yeah, it's a tongue twister. Over here is a gift shop that you can go check out. It's really one of the only gift shops in Fantasyland, and so definitely don't skip that if you're looking for some Fantasyland specific merchandise. Oh look, here's Snow White. is just walking by there. As I turn around, I need to cross the road. Quite a few bit of people coming in right there. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. And this is another character costume store for children, but this one is a whole experience. So you pay for an experience, and I've never done it, but it's an extra paid event, kind of like the Droid Depot and Savvy's Workshop. Since I don't know a whole lot about that, I can't share more, but I have heard people like it. We have boys, and I know that they also have costumes for boys, but our boys have never been interested in dress up or doing anything like that, so we've never done it. But definitely like a big hit with little girls for sure. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. You might want to look into that if you have young girls. Or boys that like to do dress up. Again, you can do Prince Charming in there. Here is Snow White's Enchanted Wish, one of the attractions here at Fantasyland. All the Fantasyland rides, with the exception of a few that we'll point out later towards the end, do not have a lightning lane. So these are all standby only attractions. Snow White's Enchanted Wish, a dark ride. And they're all dark rides for the most part here as well. So Peter Pan's Flight, one of the most popular dark rides at the Disneyland Resort, is this one right here, Peter Pan's Flight. Only a 30-minute wait, which is not bad. A really decent wait time for Peter Pan's Flight. Again, it being popular usually has 40-plus minute long waits, so 30 is pretty decent. As you can see, though, most of the line in the full exposed sun, so we got someone with an umbrella over there trying to get some shade. It's pretty hot here today, like 93 degrees, and so I don't blame them for wanting to stay out of the sun. We are going to have to do a little bit of backtracking. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride over here off to the right. And this is, you guessed it, another indoor dark ride. We do have the carousel. The King Arthur carousel over here off to the right. Sometimes Mary Poppins and Bert and the Pearly Band will ride along with you. This is so empty, it looks like there are tons of open horses at the moment. And so not a very long line for King Arthur carousel. You can pull the sword out of the stone, or at least take photos with the sword in the stone here. I don't know that they ever release it anymore. There's usually a cast member that has to release it so it actually comes out of the anvil there. But definitely if you were looking for a fun photo op, the sword in the stone. And then Pinocchio's Daring Journey, you guessed it, another indoor dark ride. Probably the least popular of the 4 dark rides that are here in Fantasyland, but it is still one that I like going on, just because it usually has the shortest line. As you can see, more stroller parking all the way around here. Lots of stroller parking in Fantasyland. You'll be able to find easy places to park that. Over here is going to be Red Rose Tavern. That's this whole seating area off to our left, and we'll walk closer to that in a minute so you can get a good look at it. In the meantime, we'll point out the churro cart off to the right, and the seasonal item that you can get from here is a caramel apple dipping sauce to go along with your churro. And then they have another fruit market. Fruit markets all over the place if you're looking for snacks. Easy to get snacks, drinks, bottled drinks right here. Again, fruit market all over the place. Bathroom over there. There's a restroom right in that little yellow building. And then we're going to cross the road here to Red Rose Tavern. The only quick service location in Fantasyland proper. Fantasyland's a big area, extends all the way up to It's a Small World, which is not really close to this area, so I just call this Fantasyland proper. The Red Rose Tavern here, I'm going to actually come in and get a cup of ice water from here, because again, I feel like I need it, and it's just a good excuse to come inside. We can point out here, this is a good place to get burgers. If you're looking for burgers and chicken sandwiches and the like, but they also have the gray stuff. Try the gray stuff. It's delicious, from Beauty and the Beast. So this is Beauty and the Beast themed, of course, and I'll put a couple other food items that you can order here from Red Rose Tavern on your screen. But if you want to get a cup of water, just walk up to any of the mobile order pickup windows and ask for a cup of ice. Well, it looks like there might be some over here. Now, in this particular location, they just give you cups of ice because they have a little water refill stations over here, so I gotta wait in line for a bit to get some water. Ooh, it is definitely a hot one today. Second cup of water for this walk, and we still got a good chunk of Fantasyland and Toontown and Tomorrowland left to do. Now that I've had some water, if you were to head down that way, you would actually end up at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge or the backside of Frontierland, where we saw Big Thunder Mountain Railroad earlier. but we're not going to go back down that way. We're going to actually zip around this direction. We have to backtrack a little bit, and then we're going to head up to Mickey's Toontown before ending in Tomorrowland. Well, not ending. We actually have to go through the back half of Main Street, too. Here is another frozen ice cream cart right there. Now, this attraction that's up here off to the left is Casey Jr. Circus Train, currently closed for refurbishment with no known reopening date. The refurb calendar goes out about 6 weeks, so it'll be closed for at least 6 more weeks, but we don't know how much longer it's going to be closed after that. Some more stroller parking back here. And then this ride is Dumbo the Flying Elephant. Pretty classic Disneyland ride right here, Dumbo. Very popular with the little kids, of course. And then here is the area for King Arthur Carousel, the entrance for it. If you want to go in the primary entrance, it's going to be right over there. And then Mr. Toad's Wild Ride that we pointed out from the other side of the carousel. The entrance to it is right over here as well. And then there's the entrance to Dumbo off to our left. Here is a popcorn and cotton candy cart. You can also just buy some bottled beverages if you are interested. Chips, looks like chips as well. They've got that mixed colored popcorn, that Fantasmic popcorn. We didn't talk about Fantasmic or fireworks or anything like that while we were doing our tours, just because we're kind of just pointing out what's going on right now. The Mad Hatter here is another store where you can purchase hats, and in this particular store you can also purchase embroidery. So if you want to get your name stitched onto your hat, you can come over here and you can have it embroidered at their embroidery station. Popping out of the Mad Hatter, you'll see another construction wall. That's for Storybook Land Canal Boats, another attraction that's currently down for refurb. Storybook Land Canal Boats and Casey Jr. Circus Train share the same ride area. So since one is down, the other is down, and they are both having work done. This ride is Mad Tea Party. This is what everybody calls the spinning teacups, and we might get a better look at it as we go around the corner here. And then off to the right is Alice in Wonderland, another dark ride. The fifth dark ride. This one isn't in the same area as the others, it's around the corner, but another dark ride here at Fantasyland at Disneyland. Pretty popular, this one. Lots of people in line for Alice in Wonderland. You'll see Matterhorn bobsleds over here off to our right. We'll talk about Matterhorn in a little bit as we are headed into Tomorrowland. We're going to bypass it for right now. Here is a Mad Tea Party. Again, spinning teacups is something else that, it gets called, the spinning teacups. I don't like the spinning teacups because I don't like to spin. My kids love it though, so we do ride it occasionally. You can rent Disney strollers, by the way. You can do that at the front of the park. I didn't actually point that out while we were in the Esplanade. It's actually before you go through the entrance gates where you would rent a Disney stroller. They also have ECVs too that you can rent from Disney there in the Esplanade before you even enter the park. Over to our right is Le Petit Chalet, and this is going to be another outdoor merchandise location. And to our left is this little stand, and this is going to be where you can get some frozen beverages, usually Coke and cherry and blue raspberry and that sort of thing, frozen beverages over at that little cart. Along this walkway that we're going through right now, you'll often find a lot of characters roaming. I don't see any currently, but I do see the Pearly Band right up here. Pearly Band plays music and has different shows that they do, sometimes in front of the castle, sometimes through Fantasyland, sorry. Sometimes through Fantasyland, sometimes up here. They've got all sorts of different places in which they perform, but looks like they're getting ready to start right now up here by It's a Small World. Now, before I pass it, on the left, there's another ice cream cart and another pretzel cart over here to the left. And this little building is another gift shop, exterior gift shop. Lots of places where you can buy stuff, right? Lots of places where you can buy stuff. The It's a Small World toy shop is another merchandise location. Stroller parking. Stroller parking is generally right here, but as they're getting ready for a cavalcade to come through soon at 1:30 and 2:45, they do move the stroller parking to a different location, and they have signs pointing you towards that. Here is It's a Small World. It's a Small World is beautiful at night. and even more beautiful at Christmas time when it's all lit up with Christmas lights. But I love our It's a Small World here at Disneyland. It's just grand and majestic and amazing. It also has about a 15-minute 15-minute long ride. So it's a nice long indoor attraction to get out of the heat. You can also use it for a snooze if you need to. We often fall asleep on the nice gentle boat ride. 25-minute wait currently for It's a Small World here today on Thursday, September 4th at 1:17 in the afternoon. Like I said, the It's a Small World toy shop, they're off to our right. And we've got some more little carts. Another popcorn cart straight ahead, themed for It's a Small World. And you can buy those popcorn buckets there. This little building I don't think is in use as anything anymore. It's just there. Before we head into Mickey's Toontown, we're going to turn off to our left to point out a few things. We've got a lot of people hanging out here. I don't know what they're hanging out for. Nothing really going on unless they just don't have anywhere to sit up here. That's a problem sometimes, and we'll point out why. So here's another ice cream cart. Behind the ice cream cart is another restroom. Up here next to the Toontown depot for the Disneyland Railroad. And then they have Troubadour Tavern. Troubadour Tavern only has like 3 tables outside of it. And it's under construction at the moment. It's still open. You can order from it. Troubadour Tavern has baked potatoes, primarily. Pretty good baked potatoes. The birria baked potato. Is it birria? Birria baked potato? No, bulgogi. Bulgogi baked potato that they have right now. Birria baked potato was at Refreshment Corner a couple of months ago. Troubadour Tavern has a really good bulgogi one right now for the Halloween season. And behind this construction wall, they used to have some more seats. Looks like they've moved them over here, so there's still some seating available for Troubadour Tavern. But this is the Fantasyland Theater, and they haven't actually had a show here for almost 2 years now. They've been using it for character meet and greets as of late, but currently obviously walled off behind construction walls, so not sure what they're doing over there in the Fantasyland Theater. This is the Toontown, Mickey's Toontown train depot. This is, actually it looks like a pretty decent spot to join the train right now. Not very many people in line here, but granted there weren't very many people in line down at Frontierland, New Orleans Square either when we went by. And this one has, what I think of the 4 train stations, is the least amount of people that get off, so it generally is actually harder to get on here. But they do have handicap accessibility up at this one as well. Again, only the Main Street Station one does not have handicap accessibility. So keep that in mind. Here's where the stroller parking moved to for It's a Small World, since that cavalcade will be coming through very shortly. In fact, it might be coming through by the time we even get out of Mickey's Toontown, because Mickey's Toontown is a dead end. So once we go through Mickey's Toontown, we're going to have to backtrack and come right through this area again. And here is the entrance into Mickey's Toontown. We do see the Disneyland Railroad arriving as we are going under here. That train is arriving at the station. Again, this is the only way in or out of Mickey's Toontown. And they do ask that you park strollers, because this is a tight little area. They ask that you park strollers over here off to the left. And if you can, you leave it parked there throughout your entire time at Mickey's Toontown. Of course, there's always exceptions, but if you can, they try to ask you to leave it parked over here. And the baby buggy parking, it says. Now, they do have different kids' play areas. This is one of them, like a little climbing area that they recently added in. That's, I don't remember what the terminology is, but it's friendly towards, certain sort of handicaps. So they've got this type of playground, and they have another playground with some slides and things over there. Not very big slides, mind you. We'll try to point it out in a second. Yeah, we'll skip all these rides for a minute, and we'll stick with what's on the left. And we'll do what we've been doing and just cover the left, and then we'll loop back around. Little place to buy some more merchandise out here.
Hey, no way we're here.
You can see there's more strollers parked even up here too. So there's strollers parked all over the place. You don't have to, like I said, don't have to park them in that primary area, but being how tight it is, it is good if you can do that. This is Goofy's How to Play Yard, and this is going to be the other playground area that they have in here. And so, like I said, there's a couple of slides, nothing super big or fancy, but a couple of slides. There's a net climb over there, and then you can actually go into Goofy's house. Actually, it might not be open currently. Let's see if this is the way you go in. Oh yeah, this is the way that you go in. So you can come into Goofy's house. There's some fun things to do for the kids in here as well. And then over here is some more areas to go through. There's Pete. Pete is doing a meet and greet right now outside of Donald's Duck Pond. So there he is, Pete. You'll find the other characters up here doing meet and greets as well, Donald and Daisy and those sorts of characters. Mickey and Minnie are always in their houses over here, and we'll cover their houses and their meet and greets in a moment, but you'll often find characters roaming around this area as well. Donald's Duck Pond in particular is a water splash area that has not been open for a while, and so that would be right through there. This is Chippendale's Gadget Coaster that we've entered in through here right now. This is a small entry-level kiddie coaster. I think the height requirement on it is 35 inches. It was our children's first roller coaster that they ever did, and it used to be called Gadget's Go Coaster. Now it's Chippendale's Gadget Coaster, and that is going to be the first attraction up here in Mickey's Toontown to point out. And then if we walk around this little park area, let's go point out what's down here. I saw something down here, got distracted. I think it's another popcorn cart. Looks like a popcorn cart. Sure is another popcorn cart up here at the far reaches of Toontown. Also, this is a little play area, so nice little big green if you want to let the kids run around. There's a couple of benches back there in the shade for adults to get out of the sun. They've also got a water bottle refill station here as well. But another popcorn station. And this one has the 70th anniversary popcorn bucket, as well as looks like a villain's popcorn bucket here, goofy, spooky Halloween one, and then also this popcorn bucket. So a lot of different popcorn buckets, but the Mickey Mouse one is the 70th anniversary popcorn bucket down here in Mickey's Toontown. So this first house off to our left is Mickey's house. This is where you're going to meet and greet Mickey Mouse in Toontown. Now another area where they will do meet and greets is in Town Square, the very front of the park. You can check the Disneyland app for when they do meet and greets there, but this is a guaranteed spot to meet Mickey up here at Mickey's house. And also, you can meet Minnie. There's Minnie right back there, and this is Minnie's house. You'll actually meet Mickey inside his house. You'll meet Minnie outside her house, but you will pass through her house all along the way so you can see it while you were waiting in line. And Minnie's house has a 30-minute wait. Mickey's house also had a 30-minute wait by the looks of it as we were walking by. Now that's the end, like that's the the back end of Toontown. And like I said, we have to start to backtrack. We did not point out the restrooms off to the left whenever we walked by the first time. Also a water bottle refilling station right there. Because again, we weren't really looking at this side of the road just yet. This is Good Boy Grocers over here off to the left. Another fruit market, so you can buy some fruit market type snacks at Good Boy Grocers. And then they have Cafe Daisy, and this is the primary quick service location here and Mickey's Toontown. I just met another gentleman. Thank you for saying hello. Cafe Daisy, well, while I was talking to him, I just realized also that they've, I forgot to mention that they have frozen beverages over here. Coca-Cola, cherry, orange, and blue raspberry. Also mango and watermelon. So if you're looking for some good frozen beverages over here at Good Boy Grocers, they have that as well, slushies. Cafe Daisy has hot dogs as well as pizza flopovers and a couple of other things, goody donuts and more. Of course, as with all the food places and putting food on your screen, I don't necessarily remember all their menus off the top of my head, but I have all this footage from food that I've eaten before in the past. So you guys get to see that footage from what I've had before, and of course that I don't remember it, but you get to see it. I'm rambling. That happens whenever I'm filming a hour and a half to 2 hour video. I don't even know what this video is going to top out at. My typical walking tours last about 55 minutes. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway over here is probably the primary draw to Mickey's Toontown as far as attractions go. I love Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. 25-minute wait, good air conditioning, good place to get out of the heat. Love coming over here for that. This little area has some stuff that you can explore in, and there's on the other side, there's like a TNT block that you can explode and some smoke comes out of the building. It's pretty fun. Explore this area of Toontown and the interactiveness of it. This is mostly a kids area, so the kids are gonna want to go wild here and checking out all of the different interactive aspects of this building off to the left. And then we also have Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin over here. And this is going to be very similar to the Mad Tea Party, the spinning teacups, but it's a dark ride. And this one's 45 minutes currently. Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin, pretty popular as well. Slow loading, like low capacity loading, as far as that's why the line is longer compared to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. But it's, one I don't do all that often because it spins, but my kids, once again, love it, so we do it from time to time. And then that's it. We're gonna walk out of Toontown here, and when we get back to the Matterhorn, I'll link back up with you because it's a lot of backtracking to get back to that point. The cavalcade is getting ready to come through, so you'll see some people. Oh, there it goes. There's the music for it. You see people over off to the sides, and they are preventing people from walking up this way any further. I don't necessarily want to see this, walk through it, so we're going to try to get past it. I'm going to try to talk over it because it's very loud music, of course. Over off to our left is Edelweiss Snacks. Edelweiss Snacks is a place where you can also get the cheesy garlic pretzel bread, but you can get turkey legs and some other things here as well. Let me see what they got. We got the Fantasyland garlic cheesy brat, and then the turkey leg and the cheesy garlic pretzel bread. That's all they have, plus some frozen beverages, Coke, cherry, blue raspberry, and something else I can't really see what that is. And then directly opposite that is the entrance to Matterhorn bobsleds, and this is one of the bigger roller coasters here at Disneyland. It is currently a 40-minute wait, which is a pretty average wait time for the middle of the afternoon. And this one does have a lightning lane. I forgot to mention that Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway also has a lightning lane, as well as It's a Small World. So the lightning lane attractions that allow you to skip a good chunk of the line. This one is a great one for Lightning Lane on Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, so it's that $36 per person per day, and it allows 13 rides here at Disneyland, 9 rides over at DCA, and if you do have a park hopper, you can use it for both parks in the same day. It's one price for both parks. If you are used to going to Disney World, I don't know how their pricing, I think their pricing is still for all the parks, but their Premier Pass ones are specific to one particular park. So our Premier Pass is for both parks, and again, I'm not going to really get into the details of Premier Pass here. They do have Autopia over here off to the left. This is Autopia. We will see the entrance for that in a minute, but the cars will come through here. This is all track, and again, not a whole lot for you to look at through there. We are walking into Tomorrowland now. We've left Fantasyland behind. Matterhorn technically still considered Fantasyland, so we're walking on the edge here of Fantasyland and Tomorrowland, because off to our left, again, Autopia is part of Tomorrowland, and this is Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage, and this is going to be part of Tomorrowland as well. You can see the sub over there. It's going through this underwater portion, and you are entirely under the water the whole time, looking out through a little porthole, and then they have things for you to look at along the way. And so obviously you never go fully submersed underwater. The opening that you walk down in is fully exposed and all of that, but definitely your viewports are going to be underwater, and there's stuff for you to look at underwater there. So straight ahead is Galactic Grill, which we will get to in a moment, but I wanted to point out another one of those popcorn carts, not the actual popcorn carts, but like the pre-bagged popcorn carts that also has some bottled beverages, so you can get caramel and cheddar cheese popcorn there, as well as that colored Fantasmic popcorn and caramel popcorn. They've got caramel corn over there. I don't know if we pointed out all those different types earlier. If you were to take this pathway, you would end up back down towards the castle or Fantasyland, whichever way you ended up turning at that fork. There's a lot of little pathways here or there that we can't point out every single pathway, but we are showing you the main ones, the big pathways through here. And this is entering Tomorrowland through the back way. So there's definitely a better way to enter Tomorrowland that's got like better views and things, but this is just the back way into Tomorrowland coming from Fantasyland. And Galactic Grill is probably the main location where I think of to get burgers. We mentioned Red Rose Tavern earlier, but Galactic Grill also has burgers. Right now they've got a chili pepper burger. I don't think I have any footage of that, but they've got the Galaxy Fish and Chips, a Haunted Hound Dog, which is their Halloween hot dog, just regular cheeseburger, chicken tenders. They got a black bean veggie wrap, chopped salad. They also have the Darth by Chocolate here, which is one of my favorite sweet treats that you can get. And that's the type of food that you can order here at Galactic Grill. So they have a lot of seating up here, as well as a lot of seating down here as well. We're gonna walk around the entire area here and show you how big the seating is. At night, they'll often have dance parties, sometimes not even at night, sometimes just during the day. They'll have dance parties and things going on at this stage down here. So while you're eating, you can see characters. The dance parties are themed to different things. I mean, I've seen Max and Goofy down here. I've seen like Toy Story back here. I've seen Star Wars characters back here. Star Wars usually during Star Wars Season of the Force or Star Wars Nights, things like that. But they use this stage that actually rises up. So that rises up, and then there's a whole lot of space there. So it's down currently, but they use the stage for dance parties, and then again all the tables that are right here. The entrance to Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage is over off to our left. And then hidden over here off to the side of Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage is the entrance to the Disneyland monorail. And the monorail will take you to downtown Disney, down in the west end by Din Tai Fung and the entrance to the Disneyland Hotel, and then it brings you back here. In order to come back in here, you have to have a theme park ticket. So you cannot ride the monorail from downtown Disney unless you have an active theme park ticket for Disneyland that day. If you can ride it from here back to here. But if you ride it from downtown Disney, they will kick you out here. Everybody has to disembark here at Tomorrowland. So that's why you must have a theme park ticket in order to ride the monorail. It does exit the park and then it comes right back in. More stroller parking here for Tomorrowland, specifically Autopia in particular. And then we've got another ice cream cart. We've got a lot of ice cream carts around. I've never really paid attention to just how many ice cream carts they have. Here's another one. It looks like they've also got some red vines and M&Ms and things over at that cart as well. So you can get some candies. Really kind of hot day for having candies out. Red vines probably not so bad, but M&Ms, I'm surprised those things are not melted. We're gonna come back here to the entrance of Autopia, over off to the left. 5-minute wait, really? Wow! Only posted a 5-minute wait today. That's pretty good. All the line is in the sun if it's only 5-minute wait. So people probably there's more space that's covered if it does extend beyond 5 minutes, but pretty hot and sunny. We're gonna walk back this pathway. Winter Circle, another little gift shop. We're not really pointing those out much anymore, just casually in passing. They got lots of gift shops, just like they got lots of little food carts. The Disneyland Railroad is back here, and you can see it currently, I think it's leaving. Just picked up some people, and now it's leaving. This is the Tomorrowland Disneyland Railroad Station. So back here in this corner is the 4th station, where you can board the Disneyland Railroad. It drops you off. You can get off at all 4 stations too. So if you got on at Main Street, you could get off at Tomorrowland. You could ride it all the way around to Main Street again. You could stay on it. They never kick you off the railroad, so you could stay on it indefinitely if you wanted to. Once you have a seat, it's yours. But here is Autopia going by. My kids love this attraction because, they get to drive their own cars. It's super fun. James can reach the pedals now. He could drive by himself. Doesn't like to because he can barely reach the pedals. Benjamin can't reach the pedals yet, so he has to be accompanied by an adult. You can see Matterhorn poking up there in the background. We're backtracking a little bit now. And then back here on the other side of this gift shop is another Disneyland mailbox, and then there's a restroom back here. And this is one of my preferred places for using the restroom because it's quieter and more private back this way, not as busy as some of the others. If we backtrack out of that area, the next thing we're going to come across over here off to the left is the Star Wars launch bay. Now, they don't really use the Star Wars launch bay for what it used to be. which was like this little walkthrough area with a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff. And now they still do have photo experiences back here. The Disney Visa card member exclusive photo experience. So you have to be a Disney Visa card member. It doesn't matter if it's debit card or credit card, it just has to be a Disney Visa. From 2 to 6 you can go back here, and usually you meet Darth Vader. They might have other characters and things that you meet. I actually haven't done it in a really long time, so I don't know what they currently have back that way. But also, if we back out of here a little bit and then look up to the top, they have the I don't even remember, Skyline Terrace. I think it's called the Skyline Terrace up there at the top. You can book that. I don't know a whole lot about it. I've never done it, but you can look it up on Disneyland's website, Skyline Terrace. And then they've got a little trading pin station over here, as well as another little external cart station. If we hop over here to Tomorrowland, you'll find another pin trading location. If you come in here, they'll have all sorts of pins, very similar to the U.S.A trading company, so you can see all those pins. You'll have to come in here and browse them on your own time, of course. They have boxed sets on the other side. These are mystery boxes, so they usually, each set has about 8 pins. Each box, I think, may... how many pins are in each box? It is... might just be 1 pin per box. And then you, in order to get all 8, you can buy multiple boxes, but you might get duplicates. They usually have ones that you can trade from. If you go up to the counter over there, they'll have, like, you know, people got duplicates and they traded for one that they didn't get. And so they have like sets of those sets. Not full sets, you know, they don't have all 8 for you to just go and nitpick over, but they do have ones that if you're missing 1 or 2, you might be able to complete your set by trading with them. Straight ahead is Alien Pizza Planet, and in front of that is a place where you can buy some bottled beverages. It's called Hyper Cool, it says. But Alien Pizza Planet is a quick service location here that sells mostly pizza and pasta. They might have a few other items on their menu as well, but we like the chicken fusilli countdown and the shrimp fusilli countdown. The pizza there isn't our favorite, but we find the pasta to be pretty decent. Space Mountain does not have a posted wait time, so I'm wondering if it just temporarily closed, considering there's people walking out of there as well. And then over here, I don't know if they still do. It looks like they might still do Fantastic Four meet and greets with the Fantastic Four characters, but Herbie is over here. If nothing else, Herbie is still out, looks like, doing some meet and greets and interacting with guests there at the exit to Space Mountain. And you can go down there. The single rider entrance to Space Mountain is down this way, as is there's some restrooms, and there's a little Miss Space Mountain gift shop down there. Space Mountain is another one of the rides here that gives you on-ride photos. So you can, if you bought Lightning Lane Multipass, you can take the number on your photo, add it to your Disneyland app, and then you've got that ride photo, the complimentary of you purchasing Lightning Lane Multipass, or the Photo Pass. A paid photo pass system. Either or will get you those ride photos. This is the gift shop for Star Tours and a bunch of others, but they've also got seasonal stuff in here. So they got Fantastic Four stuff right now to celebrate the release of that movie, and that's why they've got that meet and greet going on as well. You'll also occasionally find Halloween merchandise in here, which I believe they do have it over this way. It's also a Star Wars store, so they'll have Star Wars merchandise in here, and they do have some 70th anniversary merchandise, so they do have quite a bit of merchandise for different themed things here. Looks like, oh, Star Wars Halloween countdown calendar. I did not yet see that. That's pretty neat. And then also this lounge fly is one of their newer Halloween lounge flies. But like I said, you can also just come in here and find Star Wars merchandise like this and more. I don't recall seeing these ears before. Hoth. Interesting. They do have this really big ball here in the center, which is fun for kids. You'll see lots of kids around there pushing it. From what I remember hearing, the amount of water underneath this ball, that if they were to remove the ball, would shoot 100 feet into the air. That's how much pressure is underneath this big giant ball. And it's just enough, of course, to keep it floating so that it moves whenever you touch it and things. Space Mountain, if you did not know, Space Mountain is one of my favorite roller coasters here at Disneyland. It's an inside, in the dark roller coaster, like you're flying through space. Absolutely love that one. I've got to ride it every single time that I come to Disneyland. At least usually it's my rope drop. It's my rope drop ride. I come here first ride that I do, first ride of the day. It's got a 55-minute wait, so it has opened right back up. They've got a posted wait time of 55 minutes there currently at Space Mountain. If we turn around here, we will find another popcorn cart right here. And this one has spicy pickle popcorn. That's the seasonal spicy pickle popcorn from that location. And then this little spot back here just sells, looks like sippers and like popcorn buckets. You can buy those directly back at that cart. Nothing back there but that. And then this is, well, I don't know if it is currently. I don't see a cast member here, but it's usually a place where you can learn about DVC. So they've got some information there. Pretzels. Here's another little pretzel cart they have here in Tomorrowland, and then a churro cart right there. So pretzels, churros, popcorn, all right here in Tomorrowland. Across the way is Little Green Store Command. That is the Toy Story and Pixar store located in Tomorrowland. It's the exit to Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, which the entrance to is right up here on the right. Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters is a fun video game style ride that allows you to score points and compete against your family members. Currently posted at just 10 minutes. That's pretty amazing. Gotta say, pretty amazing for this time of the day. 10 minutes for Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters. Star Tours on the opposite side is currently closed for refurbishment. Reopens tomorrow, Friday, September 5th. So by the time this video comes out, yeah, it'll already be open. But today's the last day of the refurbishment for Star Tours. And then our last attraction, I think it's our last attraction to cover, not our last thing to cover. We've got plenty of stuff to go over still. Our last attraction is going to be Astro Orbiter, which is very similar to Dumbo, except for it's with spaceships and rocket ships, and I think it goes a little bit higher and a little bit faster, so it's a bit more intense, but still has no height requirement, which means it's good for all ages, and you can fit up to 3 people. Up to 3 people in one of those rockets. There is another restroom off to our left in that back corner back there. So Disneyland has lots of restrooms all over the place, which is really good, of course. We want to make sure there's plenty of restrooms around. To our left is the Plaza Inn. We'll talk about that in a second. We're back in the hub, by the way. If that looks familiar, we just are in the Tomorrowland side of the hub. We were on the other side with Adventureland and Frontierland. There is a churro cart up here by the castle that I forgot to point out before. And also, there is Pixie Hollow. And Pixie Hollow is this area right over here. There's an entrance off to the left as you're heading up towards the Matterhorn. There's an entrance to Pixie Hollow. And this is an area where you can go meet Tinkerbell. And it's right over here, Pixie Hollow. So it's a meet and greet for Tinkerbell. Guaranteed location to meet her, always in her area of Pixie Hollow. And again, there's the churro cart right there if you're looking for some more churros around the park. And then this is what I meant by like the front entrance to Tomorrowland. So it looks a little prettier than the back entrance, right? And it says Tomorrowland off to the side. So you know that you're entering Tomorrowland. So to our left is the Plaza Inn, and the Plaza Inn is used as a sit-down table service restaurant and a quick service restaurant. At breakfast, it is a table service, well, sort of table service. It's a buffet. So you go and you get your own food, but it's a character breakfast. So all the characters will come by. There's different characters. We've done this before. If you want to see a video on it, I'll link to it down in the description. We have a video where we did the character breakfast here at the Plaza Inn. And then from lunch, from 12 o'clock onward for lunch and dinner, it is a standard quick service restaurant. You can go in, it's cafeteria style, so you go in and you get a tray and you find the food that you want, and then there's all sorts of tables inside and outside. And the plaza is the most known for its fried chicken. And they do have some other things as well, but I actually haven't eaten here all that much. If you look across the way, you will see Jolly Holiday, so we're back in that general area. See these guys right here under this green tent? That's guest services. You got any questions? Go ahead and talk to them there as well. Remember that City Hall? There are other guest services locations around that are under tents like that. If you need help, you need information, things like that, you need to talk to them. Feel free to go and talk to guest services there. This little area off to our left over here is the corn dog cart. It's called Little Red Wagon. They have, you guessed it, corn dogs, and they also have some beverages, seasonal beverages, fruity beverages. They're pretty good. I like the beverages that they have over here at the Little Red Wagon. There's some tables back here, or you can take it and go sit in the plaza. They don't mind, you know, you do wherever you want to go sit. Back here is first aid. And so if you ever need anything like ibuprofen or bandages or whatever, come back here to first aid and they'll be able to assist you. They give you that medicine type stuff for free, no problem. And then if you have anything worse, of course, absolutely go see first aid. And then the baby care center is right here as well as his lost children. So if you lose your children or you need to go warm up some bottles, change some diapers, whatever you want, have some privacy while taking care of your child, you take them to the baby care center. Absolutely. This building right here, this store is the Plaza Point Holiday Shop. So 12 months a year it sells Christmas things like Christmas tree ornaments and Christmas decorations and all of that. So that is the Plaza Point Holiday Shop, and that's here at the end of Main Street. So we are once again at Main Street, USA, and this time we're going to be walking down the other side of the route, headed back towards Town Square and pointing off all of the things on the left-hand side that you might be interested in. Mostly just stores, okay? Mostly stores. Like the other side, they just have a lot of stores. But I want to point out the Silhouette Studio. So if you want to have your silhouettes made, this is a very popular thing to have done as well. And you can see the type of thing that they will make for you. It's $11.99 per standard cut in the picture and $14.99 per premium cut. And it's probably just the actual picture, it's not the frame that goes around it, but you can get that. And then here is the crystal shop as well. And you can go in and you can take a look at the different crystal arts and different crystal things that you can buy. A big Disneyland castle crystal there in the window, but they also have smaller things like Dumbo and Elsa there. And so like I said, you can come into the crystal shop if you are interested in taking a look at more of those things. The gift shops continue, all sorts of different merchandise all along here. You can also look at the windows too. The windows have different things going on in them, sometimes different displays. It's fun to look through them. The different seasons will have different things as well. Here's another fruit cart. This is actually the first fruit cart that you will come across if you're coming from the entrance to the park, and it's located about halfway down Main Street, USA. There's some tables back here. And a lot of people who are coming from Starbucks will sit over in these tables because this building right here is Starbucks. We'll show you the entrance to that in just a moment. But I wanted to point out that they have lockers back here in this corner of the park, as well as fuel rod refill station in there, swap station. So again, remember, fuel rod refills are free, or swaps rather. Swaps are free. The market house here, that is Starbucks. So you could go in there to get some Starbucks. Anything that they sell at a regular Starbucks, they generally have here, as well as some Disney specific treats in the Disneyland Starbucks. And then this area, So Much That We Share, you see that up there, is the Main Street Cinema. And So Much That We Share is a tribute to the Sherman Brothers. And this was released on Disneyland's birthday, official birthday of July 17th. And you can come in here, get out of the heat a little bit, and see a video about It's a Small World. Don't know how long this video is going to remain before they switch it back to just the old Mickey cartoons. Is what they used to have in here. Also, I didn't mention it, but throughout the park they have a lot of 70th anniversary touch points, and they'll give you little cards and things and little fun interactive points throughout the park that they introduced just for the 70th anniversary. Those are still around, even with the introduction of Halloween time. So they're still around the park. You do need a magic band, I believe, though, to activate those. Here is the Main Street Magic Shop. You can come in here and you can watch them do some magic tricks. You can ask the gentleman behind the counter to do some magic tricks for you, and they have these little pads here where they'll do the magic trick. They'll show you a magic trick. They'll tell you how you can buy and learn how to do that magic trick. But of course you can just browse the different magic tricks on the wall. You can browse the different card decks. They've got Theory 11, my favorite types of just regular decks of cards, mind you, but this is Avengers, and they've got Mandalorian and Star Wars, and so we've got some fun different decks of cards. There's a Black Panther set of deck of cards, and they've also got your standard bicycles as well. So of course you need those for card tricks, but I really like just the theme decks just for having. And then this is the Disney Showcase. And this has all the seasonal merchandise that you could possibly want. This is the sister store to the Disneyland Emporium. If the Emporium is over there at that end of Main Street or Town Square here, the Disney Showcase is the exact location just on the opposite. So there's the main entrance sign for it, the Disney Showcase. There's Daisy doing a meet and greet in her Halloween outfit. And this area around the hub, around Town Square. This is not the hub. Around Town Square is where you are going to find the Super Six, the Fab Five, whatever, doing their meet and greets. Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Pluto, and Goofy. And then Chip and Dale as well also do meet and greets down here too. Pluto's Pumpkin Pursuit. This is where you can buy the Pumpkin Pursuit. Let's go see what the prize is for this year. The prize for this year, it looks like, is a little cornhole, mini cornhole, and then you can purchase the special limited edition pin. I'm not sure. I think that might be the price on the limited edition pin, but that's Pluto's Pumpkin Pursuit here, and those are just more prizes over there. There's another Mad Hatter. So we saw the Mad Hatter, the first Mad Hatter up in Fantasyland. This is another Mad Hatter. It's the same as the other Mad Hatter, is a hat store. So they've got hat stores, a lot of hat stores. It's the third hat store that we pointed out here, specifically dedicated to just hats. And then it looks like Minnie is doing a meet and greet over here. There's Minnie in her Halloween outfit. And Mickey is over here doing a meet and greet in his Halloween outfit. And again, that's up here in the hub area. The Disneyland Band is playing over there. They actually had just started playing at the beginning of the tour, but I was walking into the Emporium as they were beginning. And the Disneyland Band will often play down here in Town Square, or they'll play up in front of the castle, or they'll play in front of the Golden Horseshoe. So they play in a lot of different areas. Sometimes they'll play in Tomorrowland too. I've seen them play in a lot of different spots, but the Disneyland Band is really great to listen to. Love the Disneyland Band. Can't get enough of them. But I do want to point out, Disneyana Gifts is a great place if you want to purchase some artwork. Actual artwork, and they've got prints too, but like expensive artwork, $400 or $500 pieces of artwork over at Disneyana Gifts. And then this area right here is the Opera House, and this is where you can see Walt Disney: A Magical Life. Walt Disney: A Magical Life is the new show. It did not necessarily replace Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, but it has temporarily. Eventually, Walt Disney: A Magical Life and Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln will be in rotation. They're not currently, like I said, just Walt Disney: A Magical Life during its initial run. They did not really specify what its initial run means, but you can come see that show if you are interested in history, Disney history particularly, or like a biography of Walt Disney. The Opera House Theater here is a great place to come see Walt Disney: A Magical Life, and beforehand you can walk through and you can learn history and see all sorts of props from different rides and attractions that Walt had a hand in making. And so there's a lot of history, there's a lot of knowledge here that you can just spend. You don't even have to go into the theater and see it. You could just walk around and look at some of this stuff. But the show is super worth it. I saw it, I loved it, I thought it was great. It's also good for getting out of the heat as well and getting some air conditioning. We might actually go see that in just a minute, because it has been a long day. But I thought we'd pop over here into Disneyana Gifts real quick. They do have this new thing. This is a giant version of the key to Disneyland. This is a limited edition collectible key for $250, and you can see it in the boxes down here. They still have the smaller ones for $60 somewhere. But Disneyana, again, is where you can buy some actual artworks. Again, they do have some prints for like $40, but you can also buy originals. This one's $229, but they've got a bunch of different originals all around here. I really like this one. This one looks really nice. Disney Storybook Conjuring by Darren Wilson. It's $109. It's actually pretty affordable. I think that one's pretty good. And then this one's $3.99. Ryan Riller limited edition print. So this one, actually, this is a print still. And this one might actually be a print as well. Yeah, it probably, well, it says it's a canvas wrap. I don't know enough art words, art terms to know what that is, but some of these are just prints. That's a limited edition print. But you can go in here, and sometimes you can actually see them drawing, like actively drawing right here at the counter. They will be drawing. You can see Thumper there. Someone is working on Thumper, and not here currently, but they'll finish working on them, and you can actually see their sketches. They've got a little sketchbook that you can flip through, and you can see the different sketches that they have made. So that's pretty cool. I like that. And then maybe we can see, like, what's this one over here? This one is original art. Yeah, $6,350 for that one. Emotional Symphony by Verion Laurent. Or Loren. I'm not sure if the T is silent or not, but original art there. Now, as long as this video has been, and as much as we have shown you, there's still parts of this park that I just have not pointed out, not addressed. Like, for instance, back in the Candy Palace, they have a like organ that you can activate, and it'll start playing some music. In the Pioneer Mercantile, they have a like another music box situation there. They've also got a little character of Woody on some strings. He's a little puppet, and you can put in some quarters and activate him, and you can control his arms and his legs, and you know, there's little fun things like that all over the park, and different areas that you just have to look and open your eyes and be a little, you know, aware, I suppose, to your surroundings when you're walking around. You'll find many more things to do here. Truly, like, we didn't even cover, like I mentioned, the fireworks or Phantasmic or parades or anything like that. This video just doesn't have the scope for that. We wanted to walk around the park, show you some things that maybe you might not otherwise would have known about, or if you've never been here before, you wanted to get a better sense, a better lay of the land of how things look. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. I am going to put a playlist here for first timers. If you want to see some more videos specifically designed to help first timers plan their first trip to Disneyland, go ahead and click this playlist. You've got loads of content in there for you. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time.